Ta-da!
Hmm.
Ta-da!
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Welcome in, everybody.
Ta-da!
Matt Zoll, Big Bob. Matt Zoll Hyped? Is that what your name is for real? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Rattlecan, what's going on? Matt is hyped. Oh, I like that. Okay. See, that's all it takes, chat. You just have to explain it to me. Sarcastic Grandpa. Anna. Plump Crunchy. What is a plump crunchy?
Don't ask.
I don't know
Some
about
questions
that
you
one.
don't want the answer to, Chris.
I'm hoping it's some kind of tasty cereal. Chris
You're
sounds
hoping
like
what?
like a tasty cereal. Like, hey, this is Plump Crunchy with its famous mascot, uh, Billy Bob.
That's where it goes south, is when you try to find the mascot for Plump Crunchy.
Plump Crunchy is a really sour cereal. You know, that's what Plump Crunchy is.
It's an acquired taste.
It's something. What's going on, everybody? Fifter Bear, Ross, Togadon, Sugar Rush. That's right, Ross. I'm here to please. Sorry, you laughed.
Oh, wait.
What was
That was me. I have the sniffles.
You know that's one of your tells, Jason. I can't say that with a straight face. Sacred Chime, how are you? Hey, good afternoon, guys in chat. Welcome in. Jason is painting today, surprise. And we're also going to be doing our December challenge review around 3 p.m.
So they think.
So stay tuned.
So they think.
What do you mean?
I'm rebelling.
You won't. You won't do it.
I'm rebelling. I cannot be compelled.
It's composited. But we'll let that one fly. What's up, Red Fang? Red Fay, not Fang. Fay. You have the blue lettering for your name. Yes, I have a different camera, Frigid, because the other camera is being used for the game table for when we do the review. I'm using a little webcam today.
You have a different camera for what? For you?
For me, because my normal one is over there. Well, normal one's at Jason's house. This is the temporary one.
The one he stole from me.
What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine.
That's not how you meant to say that.
Chris, you can use this camera for stream. Okay, Jason.
Well, when someone comes in
Yes.
and says, hey, can I take this thing that you bought for yourself
Yes. That's been sitting
and
in
use
a
it
box
for myself
for 5 months
for the betterment of Monument Hobbies?
Yes.
It's hard for me to deny that request because I'm all for the betterment of Monument Hobbies.
Yes.
And yet there was never a solution provided for the part where it was, I'll get you another one. You never got me another one.
You got it for yourself. That was a separate thing.
But you took it.
No, I gave it back to you, though.
You didn't. You mean just recently?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You took it back.
But now you need another camera.
At some point. At some point. But this is not too bad. I just look a little pale. You know? Nothing wrong
This
with
is
that.
more the true Chris you're getting.
The really pale Chris and over hyper compensated webcam Chris.
You know, you can change that.
I did. It is maxed out.
It's maxed out.
I did my best with what I had. It doesn't look too bad. I don't mind it. Today's energy, I would say, is sultry, reflective. It's a gloomy day here in Arizona, but not Arizona.
It is kind of cold and gray.
It's very cold. It was 57 degrees.
It was when I
Tops
went
at
out
my
for
house.
lunch and grabbed a sandwich. It was like, I wish I would have worn a hoodie kind of weather. I don't even have a jacket here.
You could have. You could have done that. Need a pup cam? We don't have pups here. Raleigh.
This is the office. This isn't the house. At the house, we have pup cam.
How much is that in normal units, says Red Faye? I don't know. That's a good question.
Did you say Fahrenheit? Because that's normal.
Oh. Those are some fighting words.
These
as
Celsius
Jason would-
aliens.
Celsius aliens.
That's Martian talk.
Martian talk. It's the best. Hear that, Jason? It's the rain. Is this warm flesh?
Yeah, dark warm flesh.
Mm-hmm. Just straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the bottle. Well, I mean, I have some water on my brush, but not much. I found myself wanting that peak of brightness back on the cloth areas that we did. So we had used pale pink initially, and it faded it down too much. So then we put the orange transparent over the top. And now our wanting to pop it a little bit brighter, like so I can get these areas where it's kind of, you can imagine it being faded as it's been drawn over stone for a long time. How's everybody doing today? What is today, Chris? Wednesday?
I think so. It's all one big week. You know? It's all one day in my mind.
No, it's not.
One big day.
No, that's not how that works.
That's how I compartmentalize my days. But it
I don't
is
think
Wednesday.
you do.
I do. I truly
No,
do.
because then you wouldn't need to go home at night.
I know. That would be inconvenient of me.
But you do that.
I know. I shouldn't. It's all one big day. Today is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. It is 2 p.m. We are officially started.
It's
I started
2 p.m.
I started early for you, chat. And by me, I mean we. And by we, I mean Jason and I. Jason came in here very quiet today. Started painting. Didn't say much to me. We had few words today. And that's okay.
I'm ignoring Chris because of a fight we got into yesterday. So, Chad, if you could tell Chris that I'm ignoring him, I'd appreciate that.
What was the fight about?
It's the fact that you can't even remember that keeps me angry.
I don't think we had a fight. I don't remember.
It's the fact that you don't even know what it was about.
You know we were fighting? I'm listening to the rain right now. Sazzle says, today's another work day. LOL. Looking forward to this weekend. Spear League is starting nice. What's up, Lumberjack? Big Bob? Monument sounds like Slow is enjoying some peace and quiet by avoiding you. That is 100% correct. I'm pretty dang quiet throughout the day. I will say it. I leave it all here for you, chat. I put all my energy into this.
It's very weird.
Towards the end of the day.
It's very weird.
What's that?
Because you don't carry this energy through the day.
I don't.
Very often. Every now and then you have your moments.
I reserve a lot of this for the good people of chat.
So, Chad, I want you to understand that this thing that Chris does for you is really odd. Like, he really does just keep this specifically for you.
I have to.
You don't have to.
I do.
You don't.
I have to reserve my energy.
You could literally just be, cool, calm, collected Chris all the time.
I'm pretty dang cool and calm pretty much throughout the day. Chat, I don't know. This is me. This is what you get.
This is what you get.
I bet Chris is walking around the office and no one is allowed to look at him in the eye or talk to him. False. Everybody looks at me, talks to me, asks for things. I'm available. I have made that public.
Chris is very much in the moment. He's like, you can nab him whenever you see him, ask him questions. He's very good at that.
Chris, you can conserve your energy by letting Jay produce. False. It won't. Gabe is no longer in this building.
Gabe office is over at the other building.
I sense hostility, not calmness. Big Bob, I don't know what you're talking about. I am calm.
Calm and hostile.
Me? Getting this back on track. Today's Wednesday. We're painting. Hey, and we're also doing our December challenge review. It was all about importance of a flag to you, some important flag in your life from your past or your country or your state flag, any of that. So get ready for that. That's going to happen around 3-ish. We're going to do that for a little bit, and then Jason's probably going to paint some more. And Grant is going to join us as well at 3.
Grant?
Yeah. Community manager. And also, if you didn't know, our January... You hear that?
Huh? What?
You hear that?
What? Rain?
The rain.
Is it snow?
Is it the rain? Hello?
Is it snow?
No, it's not snow. It will
I just washed my damn car, so it would rain.
Jason, you know that's a scientific fact. If you wash your car in Arizona, it'll probably rain in 3 days.
I hate this place.
No, you don't. Take that back. Now, Jason.
I hate this place.
No, you don't. Jason,
Sir.
Really quick. Pause 1 second. What are you doing right now? Are you doing... I know you're painting. Are you... The reason why I ask, because I didn't notice yesterday you painted this little flame, and I really, really liked how it came out. This flame up here.
How did you not notice that?
I wasn't here when you painted it. This was after hours.
Chad, I think he was here.
No, I actually wasn't.
How do you know you weren't here?
Check the timestamp, because I vividly remember, hey, this would be a good bit on OSL because this is a cool little torch flame. And then it used to be pink. And today, when I took a picture when I came in to make the thumbnail for the YouTube live thing, it was orange.
It was orange.
And I like it. I like this workup, whatever it is.
It's our yellow secret sauce over the top of the magenta that was already there. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, I love how that fire came out.
And it's just like, gives it enough orange, but we still have work we have to do to it. But yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Are you going to make it like really glow, or are you keeping it more like that?
No, I think I'll work on it more. We'll do some of that today.
Oh. Interesting.
I sent a picture of this to the guy who I bought the models from to show him what I was doing with his models, and he didn't believe that this was
his army.
His army. He didn't believe that was his base coats that were on here.
No, Brent, I know this is a temporary cam today for me. But this whole weekend is going to be changing that, so get ready.
He has asked permission to just change the whole stream.
Permission?
He said something about forgiveness, not permission.
No, I want to say this, chat.
Here we go.
It was 2.5 years ago.
To the day?
No. A wise man once told me, ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
He's lying again, Chad.
No, those are actual words. But yes, it's just a little temporary cam.
Temporary change?
No, this little camera is.
Oh.
Just because we have equipped Jason with a little stream at home. And by little, I mean not that little. Because it's a really cool space. So if you haven't seen that, Jason, you said you might be streaming Friday later, maybe?
Yeah, we have to... Chris is taking the day Friday to adjust a bunch of stuff around here. And because I am going to start working from home on Fridays, I was like, well, I'll just stream at the normal time, but from the house. I unfortunately have a 2 o'clock meeting that got called that I can't pass up. It got rescheduled from another day.
Sure.
And I have to take advantage of it on the Friday because I have to travel out to a location here in Phoenix to meet with some people. So I will we won't do the stream on Friday at the normal time,
right.
But I will pick up stream and do it at home later Friday evening, I think.
And he'll let you guys know in Discord. And if you don't already belong to our Discord, here is the link. And just so that everybody knows, sometimes people see this. Sometimes I just want to keep everybody aware. When Jason and I do announcements, we'll either do them we probably do them in the live streams announcements.
Yep.
That's typically where we do them in the Discord. Not always main chat. So if you're like, is stream going on today? That, if it's not outside our normal time, we'll always let you know in there. Danger Boy, does Jason's streams create VODs? It will. We got him hooked up with Restream, so it's automatic. So yes. Little Billy, unfortunately, I can't read your comment out loud because the rain is too loud here.
There's no rain, Little Billy, so you must have really annoyed him.
There's a lot of rain. It's nice. It's very calming.
I'm too deaf to hear it.
Yes, Danger Boy, we appreciate you. Pikmin, what's going on? Little Billy says, speaking of links, I found the weakest one.
It's Chris.
Welcome in, Chris.
Little Billy, we miss you so.
Danger Boy, I appreciate that. I partially can't really do a lot of stream maintenance while the day before because I don't want to off track the show. That's why I don't do that. But Blackmagic's updated their cameras. You got to do that.
Yeah, it needs to do software updating.
I clean the lenses because after a while they get dusty. There's a lot that you can do, and I just haven't done that in a while.
It's Maintenance Friday.
Yeah. Plus, the whole other thing that I have planned is going to be crazy. So,
he isn't telling me what it is either. So, I'm at a loss.
No, It's nothing special, chat. I just need to update the whole system and all that.
And then other secret stuff. So he's lying, is what he's saying. He's got some plan.
I don't do that.
You do that.
I don't do that.
You definitely do that.
Not really.
Really?
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly what
Name
I
10
just
times.
said.
I need 15 examples.
Let me do it in song.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. There's a story of a man named Brady.
So the guy...
I don't know why that came to my head right now.
So Blake, the guy who taught the shop how to play Kill Team.
Yes, Blake.
I had gotten him into Heresy.
Nice.
And so he got a Mechanicus army.
Yeah.
And he's all stoked on it. And then we got, we didn't really talk much during the holidays as he was doing his family thing and all that. And then now that the holidays are done, he contacted me and he's all stoked. He's ready to get together and play some Heresy. And I'm like, so I'm on this Conquest kick.
When did you play?
And we haven't.
Oh,
but he's like, he's contacting me yet last night, let's get together and do some Heresy. I'm like, so I'm on a kick with Conquest, and he just laughs.
Hey,
I'm
Awkward.
Like, I may have accidentally gotten 7 armies.
That's a lot of armies. Hey, we just got raided by Awkwardish Panda. Welcome in, Raiders.
Never heard of him.
We're talking about a beautiful switch up from Horus Heresy to Conquest full time.
Never heard of him.
Awkwardish. Raiders, welcome in. We appreciate that raid. So you're getting him into Conquest.
Oh, I didn't say that.
You're getting him into Conquest now?
He generally will follow into cool stuff, so we'll see.
Okay.
But I don't guarantee anything.
Doghouse said, went to the production office to pick up an order and got to show off my Gundam builds to Grant and Phil. Grant was kind enough to give me a tour and had a good chat with him. You guys are great, and I'm so proud of your used products. Thank you, guys. Hey, Doghouse, you're the man.
It's a pretty cool building, isn't it?
And Doghouse, it's cool, man. You don't have to come over this building.
It's much better
fine.
than the building that has Chris in it. Oh, wait. Was that my outside voice?
I don't know what I've done to Jason today, but maybe I've offended him. Maybe I have.
What makes you think you did anything?
I don't know.
Are you feeling...
I'm feeling neglected.
Neglected?
Yeah.
Okay, what should I say?
I would like you to finish the song to the Brady Bunch on a 1 and a 2.
The Brady Bunch.
Next time, Doghouse. You showed up to work. That's what you did, Chris. That's right, Wreck-It. I showed up today. God bless America.
Chris is good. He shows up every day.
I hope so. We
He's
got a lot
in
of
body,
cool-
if not mind and spirit.
If not mind, spirit, and body. We have some cool stuff coming up, chat. Get ready. We got an amazing year happening. This is the year of clarity. Isn't that right, Jason?
Clear.
I like that. Swifter Bear, you all need to have satellite locations on the East Coast so I can visit. This is true.
Oof.
That was a lot of oof.
That's a lot of oof. I don't know that I need. I'm already having a plan. We got big plans this year. We've already got a UK, Canada, and an Australia office.
What else do you want from us, chat?
What else do you want from us?
What else do you want?
Good God, isn't that enough?
You're calling the production office the Wonka factory? Nice. Defiant Bidet says, as the evil society progress in the year. No, I told you guys that my New Year's resolution for this stream was to be 90-10. Business, fun. Well, it's all fun.
So wait, 90% business, 10% fun?
No, 90% hobby, business, paint, extreme. The other 10%, silliness. From not just me, but from me and Jason. Goes both ways.
I'm confused as to what my part is here.
What do you mean? You're the business, paint, and you're also the fun. You're the 100%, man.
I'm the 90.
No, you're the 100%. You're the whole, because you do both.
Okay.
You and I, collectively, we the people.
It's a lot of pressure on me, chat.
Is it?
Yeah. I was kind of hoping you'd take care of the 90 part.
Show up and dance.
Oh. Oh, you'll dance.
And while you're at it, paint some conquest. We have a lot of conquest. And by we, I mean 100% Jason. Did Philip finish that army for you?
No. I haven't seen a single model from Philip.
Uh-oh. Punishment.
He's supposed to send me like a sheet of all the models that we have dual kits for so I can tell him what to build. So I need to just look through it all and say,
Newton Corgi, will this be the year where we see Chris paint session? I've painted before on stream. Many times.
They mean a session that's meaningful.
Wait a minute.
Where you maybe learn metallic metal.
I did hot pink plaid.
No, you didn't.
It doesn't get
Jordan
more
did.
meaningful than that.
Jordan did, actually.
I did it in my own way.
You...
I did do it, technically.
That is also true.
Jason, if I liked how it came out, that is what it is.
You didn't like how it came out.
It was a monstrosity. It wasn't pretty.
You didn't like how it came out. Don't lie to me.
You know what I did, though? I did it for the people.
The people are asking you to learn non-metallic metal.
I committed to the bit.
You said you would.
Yes, we will.
And now you're lying.
I'm not lying.
Well,
I told you.
What's the date then?
November.
Can you commit and get a date?
2026, November 18th.
That's not going to work.
Put it on your calendar.
I'm not here.
You're here. Where are you? Where are you?
Gone.
No, you're gone on April 1st.
I plan to retire this year.
Good. Good. He'll still dance. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna retire to an island in the Pacific.
Sugar Rush. I can't learn non-metallic metal until Chris teaches me. Sugar Rush. Literally false. If you guys haven't attempted non-metallic metal yet from this stream, I'm disappointed. Not at you, just in general.
The day Chris became disappointed dad.
You guys, we do non-metallic metal all the time. You should try it.
Now, I want to know, Chris. This is a good therapy moment.
Okay.
What is it that's keeping you away from this? Are you afraid?
No, not really. No.
What is it?
I have just not put it on my priority list to be in the mindset to get up there and not produce. So once I get into there, I will do it.
I don't understand, chat.
Here's the thing.
Here we go.
Jason, HBDC Craze,
That's me.
is the one and only. And you're on a kick. You're on a hobby kick.
That you don't.
So
you don't.
If it
you don't
brings,
get to do that.
If it brings you some kind of joy to have me come in here and paint, I will. But I also don't want to stop this train.
You know what brings me joy?
Yes.
Is chat
Chocolates.
learning something new.
Oh, they learn something new every day. I would be a betting man if everybody in chat didn't learn something new every day. Somewhat Civil. Hey, thank you so much for that sub. Yes, I'll attempt it at some time, at some point, at somewhere over the rainbow.
I apologize, chat. I was hoping that we could really do that for you. I'll find somebody else.
Oh my!
We'll get Jen in here again.
That would be great.
Scaredy cat Chris doesn't want to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
No, you're not.
I will do it.
You won't.
I will.
You won't. You've already proven you won't. Because here we are in the new year.
November 2026. All right. I'll do it.
I tried, chat.
No, I'll do it. I'll plan it out. I'll let you guys know.
I tried. I'm sorry I failed you.
No, he hasn't failed yet. I'll get it. I'll do it. Plump Crunchy. I got the OG texture trainer to try non-metallic metal this year. Nice. Just going to try again and again and again until I'm good. That is the point of those. Paint Liquor, I will announce that date specially when I decide to.
When I decide to.
I will. I will.
I'm sure you will when you decide to.
The day that I announce it, it will be announced.
It will be a day that ends in the letter Y.
Friday. Not this Friday. Jason's not here. Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it. Jason's not here Friday.
You're not here Friday.
I am here Friday.
Not streaming.
Oh. Little do you know. Maybe I will be.
I don't know what he's afraid of, chat.
I'm not afraid.
He's very afraid.
I'm literally not afraid.
He's literally afraid.
We will plan it out. How about that? I'm excited to do it.
No, you're not.
I truly am.
That's a lie.
I just would like to
Everybody
be...
knows that. X up in chat if you know Chris is lying. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you know he's lying.
I want to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, it'll coincide with the release of Bag of Curl. Yeah, Rocket's got it.
2054.
Like, lies.
But how long will I do it for? That's the question, chat. How long do you want to see it? What kind of level are we talking here? Is this a day session? Is this a 2-day session? What kind of day session is this?
It depends totally on how fast you can get the concepts and get it done.
It might take 3 months.
There you go. We're committed.
This will go on my employee review. Let it be so.
Chris, we're sorry, but you failed at the non-metallic metal.
You can't fail.
Not with me keep teaching you.
That's right. You can't fail at all. I am not scared, chat. Swifter Bear, I did. I did finish my halflings. You can go see them in the completed miniatures. You can go check them out right in there.
You happy with them?
I'm very happy with them.
Nice.
I actually really
look
like
really
how
good.
they came out. They're very fun. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to write the little lettering, the little white lettering, make them a little bit more football-y.
You're saying like for a nameplate?
Yeah. I'm also, I primed my gnomes last night. I primed my gnomes last night, so I need to finish those now.
Schlebby ditched her team and gave it to Chris.
I bought her off of her. She's like, "Do you want these?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're built. Perfect." But I will.
Oh, did she build them all?
She built them all. But I had to take them off their bases because the new base concept I have is flat grass like football field. So I've got to I had to take them all off their base.
What did she do for basing?
Nothing.
Oh, it's just a black.
It was the black base. No, Marshall, I will not be streaming on Friday.
The stream will be later than normal on Friday because I have a meeting at normal stream time. Chris is taking the day to revamp all the software on cameras and reset a lot of things here in the studio that need some attendance. And I'm doing that meeting, and then I will be back at my house, and we can stream from there later on Friday. So we'll have a Fuse After Dark Friday going on. Should be fun. Figure something cool to do.
Yeah, so I will plan it out. I'll let you guys know when we take the week to actually do it. The non-metallic metal. Pikmin, you're teaching a class. Interesting. That should be fun. No, Pikmin says, "Chris, you can take my texture class at Adepticon. I'm doing a section on using hatching for non-metallic metal. Our Adepticon this year is going to be wild and busy.
Yeah, I don't think
I
we'll have any
shan't
free time.
be doing that. But that does sound fun. And I hope your class does go well. No, there will be Jason at his house, Awkwardish. You can call it Crazy Friday. You can call it whatever you want. I bet you he'll be doing Conquest, if I had to guess. Zendu said, "You mentioned Kill Team earlier. Do either of you play it? Is it popular around the office?" We played that one night. I loved the models.
We all built a kill team, and my buddy Blake, he ran like a little mini event.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I am not a huge fan of Kill Team without knowing all the rules, right? My first impression was, I should have known more when I started. I do like the models, though. The kill teams that they have are really cool. I also like being able to focus on a squad and finish a squad, hobby-wise, and have them look cool.
Yeah, so I definitely love games that are in that squad level, because you don't have to paint as many models, so it doesn't seem like as daunting a task to get to a completed army.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
Yep.
The rules were okay. I'm always a little reluctant for games where all of the rules are baked into the army. The generic kill team game rules are very quick to understand. But every army has its own way of breaking all the rules, which means it takes a lot of my knowledge and time to have to invest into understanding what every army does in order to play them effectively, even if they're just your opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not as big a fan of those types of games because it requires me to have to invest too much time in the game,
knowing what's up.
I'd rather like to have all the rules be very similar, and it's just like what units have how much damage,
right,
so that I don't have to know every army in order to play proficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to know my army really well, and Kill Team's a little wonky for that. It's not a bad game, though.
Flapjack says, "Question for Chris. Is a kill team an army?" In my mind, yes. Yeah. It's an army, right?
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
What classifies something as an army?
Well, I guess, we could have the argument of it's
a skirmish army.
It's a skirmish.
It's a team.
A
squad. There you go. I really liked the commemorative model. That rattling one.
Oh, that one's really
I
cool.
Really enjoyed painting that one. That was probably one of my favorite things I painted last year. If I had to put them in a category. Just wondering, since a Blood Bowl team is an army. Blood Bowl team, definitely an army.
I think in the generic sense of saying I paint armies to play games with, if that's all you need to play the game, then I think that we could call it an army. It is not army level stuff when you consider like
it's not that many models.
Building a ton of models, but yeah.
I have painted many zombies, many skeletons, and many wolves in my day.
I typically say, I have an army for that. When people say, hey, you want to play, Kill Team? I'll play Blood Bowl. I have an army. I have a whole painted army for that.
I do have 120 zombies I could pivot over to.
Just cuz?
Because why not? I actually have a really good zombie workup I like. I also posted that in the completed miniatures. I paint, chat. Somebody called me out yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just start posting all of this stuff in there. There you go. Even if it doesn't look good, chat, doesn't matter. Post it in there. Show us what you're working on.
Like Jen is on a kick where she says she's taking a photo a day. And I feel like that's a great thing.
Face one?
Huh?
The face one?
No, she's just taking a photo a day, just of anything, because
nice.
It's like she read that, the best way to become more proficient at photography is to take more photos. And want to, like with anything, it's like journaling. It's like force yourself to journal every day.
Right.
So she's doing a photo a day.
That's cool.
And she's been taking photos of dogs and, just whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
The content isn't as important as the task of taking it, I don't think.
Right.
And so she's been doing that and having fun.
Chris,
and that made me think like how great it would be to, paint enough each day, make some progress on a model each day, take a picture of it.
Jen says, yes, I'm using it like a visual journal. Nice.
Yeah, I think it's great.
What brush are you using here, Jason?
This is a number 3 Pro Sable. This is the way the Pro Sables from the U.S. manufacturing will be once we get them churning out. We'll be doing natural handles with the red at the tip so that you can tell the difference between our German-made and our U.S.-made brushes. Because in the U.S., you will have both. Rest of world will only have German-made brushes most likely. There's a chance that if we get really proficient at manufacturing here in the States, that we may be able to ship worldwide. But right now, we're just focused on manufacturing for the States in the States.
Spaznet says, are the texture paint in the tubes versus the tubs the same formula?
Yeah.
Same
exactly
deal.
Same. It's just easier to use out of the tube.
Different format. Same formula, different format.
It was a big aha moment for me when we were going through the motions of, the expert acrylics and the manufacturing it takes to put stuff in tubes. And we were like, well, if we're doing paint in tubes now, why wouldn't we look at doing these in tubes? Because making the tubs of texture has been one of the worst manufacturing processes we've ever had. It's just very difficult. It's dirty. Nobody on the team liked doing it. So we were like, could we do them in the tubes? And when the answer came back as yes, we were like, fire it up.
Fire it up.
So now we don't have to worry about them anymore. And the tube really is a better solution. People have fought it because they're so used to stuff coming in tubs, but the tub is a waste. And the tubes do such a better job of letting you apply the paint easily without all the mess.
Tubes are awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
Can I have a brush handmade by Chris? No. Or can you?
We're going to get, at some point in time, I want everybody in the company to take part in some form of manufacturing. Because Chris has never made a bottle of paint.
Nope.
Gabe's never made a bottle of paint. I would love to have everybody, all the sales guys and all that. Everybody should have to make a bottle of paint. Now, Kenny, over in sales, has made lots of paint.
Yep. Kenny just said, I can confirm texture was awful.
Yeah, Jordan has not made paint, but Kenny over in sales has made tons of paint.
I thought Jordan did.
Nope.
Oh. I'll call in when Put me in, coach. When olive flesh comes around, it'll be a spiritual moment for
Oh,
me.
we will let Chris make olive flesh.
Why not? I'll double it.
Hey,
Let's
Kenny,
do it.
if you're watching,
Teach me. I'll double
message Gabe and tell him that the next time olive flesh is up for a production run, to nab Chris and let Chris make olive flesh.
it. If I don't, I'll be upset.
I think that's rad.
Why not? It'll be a spiritual moment. What about a touch? What about bronze? Bronze too. I could do bronze.
We do bronze.
Bronze is more now, Brent. That's a good question. Bronze is more of a how do I put it? It's more of a you ever parallel parked perfect, Jason?
Oh yeah.
That's a touch of bronze. You ever put the exact ratio of peanut butter and jelly on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh yeah.
That's a touch of bronze. Bronze is a lifestyle. That's right, Wirehead. That's more of like an embodiment of peace and harmony.
Peas?
Peace. Like as in peace and love. And the little green things. Oh, I will.
Oh, I slay me.
I slay me. Could we do a live stream making his bottles, or will that reveal company secrets? I have nothing to hide, chat. All that stream is gonna be me is just making paint. Chris, you should make a how it's made infomercial spoof.
Of Chris making olive flesh. How it's made, olive flesh. And just do it all wrong.
I'm going to cry into those. Each bottle will have a tear of that run. So you know that I'm a part of you.
Is that supposed to be you crying? That's maybe the worst crying effect I've ever heard, Chris.
That's me crying.
Quite possibly the worst cry ever.
Somewhat still said I'd watch
history of
that
theater.
stream. Good. Okay. All right. Put me in, coach. Maybe I'll just stop that. I'll just become a bottling machine. Maybe our production would literally go up by tenfold.
Chris, I don't think you want that to be the outcome of that whole thing.
Challenge me. Let's do this.
Challenge me.
Let's go.
Chris is ready to make a difference at Monument Hobbies.
I used to do this, and this, and now we got rid of everybody on this team, and now Chris is the only one who does this. He hasn't stopped since January 7th. Looks like I've got my calling.
Gonna have all the production team at his house.
Productions
late
are
at
like, we
night
just
trying
can't win. This guy's just going crazy.
Ruined my
over
life.
Broco now with a hint of saltiness. Ooh, Nicholas, I like that.
A hint of saltiness?
From my tears
Oh.
of joy and spiritual awakening. Yeah, we'll plan it out, chat.
Oh, we're back to that lie.
No, somebody was mentioning it. Trashorama. Chris is manufacturing beats. Just gotta get out of the knot. I'll do it. We'll do it. I'll let you know.
I love how you're saying it like you're so put out.
I'm not put out. I'm excited for it. I like to be in a certain mindset when I paint. And sometimes, like, if I have to transition to work to over here, it's a different transition for me. So I just have to do it. What are you talking about? Ugh. This is me. What do you want?
I like how you act like you get to have it has to be right. Stars have to be aligned.
I just have.
It has to all be
I just gotta
perfect.
be in the mood. I
Do you
gotta
have a
be in
headache?
the mood. What's that? What'd you just say? Did you say I have a headache? Low pressure days kill me. this is a low pressure day.
Oh, it's about to be high pressure.
Well, nah, I'm talking about the weather. And as I said that, I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, it's about to be a high pressure
the
day.
pressure is on. No, dude, rain for me in Arizona just affects me.
My nose,
It
right,
gets-
in the
it gets in
congestion.
my
and I'm already
head.
fighting a clogged ear. I can't get my
Yeah.
ear to unstop.
It gets me real foggy. Rogue Leader, I will ban you. No questions asked. Jason says, Jason, ask Chris why he's upset. I hear he loves that. I will ban you.
Hey, Chris.
I'll put you on a timeout.
Chris,
I'll ruin your stream streaks. I'll do all that.
Chris, why are you so upset? It just something feels off today, Chris, and I'm just trying to, along with my friends in chat, we're just trying to figure it out, man, because it's kind of like an intervention thing. We
With
want to make sure
me?
you're okay.
With me?
Are you
What
okay?
are you talking about?
Are you okay?
I told you, low pressure days, man. They get me in a fog every time. I stopped that because this is a kids show. And by kids, I mean family. And by family, I mean hopefully you're all painting with your family. Speaking of your families.
None of those words even go together.
Speaking of your families.
And by family, I mean, I
and
hope
by
you're all painting.
family, I mean, speaking of your
What
families.
does that even mean?
Welcome in, everybody. We've got the challenge review for December happening at 3 p.m. So get real, chat, because we are at 3 p.m. We're going over your submissions for the December challenge, which was an important flag colors in your life. That was something like that. Technically, it was labeled Independence Day in December, which is the whole theme of it, like your country's flag, your state's flag, whatever. Trashorama said, I do have a real question. I moved a year ago or so, and all my hobby supplies were stored in a Houston garage. Ooh. I unpacked them last week to reset my paint station, and my paint texture is much like full body paint. Is there anything I can do to salvage?
Which paint? Like all of your normal paints?
Just all your paints.
They all dried out?
Sounds like your hobby supplies. Ugh. Houston garage. That might be rough in summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Houston summers are very humid and hot.
Ooh.
Not conducive to if it's non-temperature controlled, that can be a real problem. But no, because of the way that the chemical process works when paint cures, it means that you have had, evaporation, and it causes the resin to polymerize and turn to plastic, right? That's what happens with acrylic. And there's no going back from that. Could you find some use for the paints by, maybe adding in some medium to them? Maybe you could get a little bit of use out of them. You'd have to watch their durability, because the resins may have not all, but have lost some resin content because it cured in the bottle. That's the biggest thing. So try some water or medium and see if it gets back to paintability for you, so that you can at least use them. But I would start replacing your paints as you can. Just an unfortunate truth of paints that are left to kind of dry out.
Hey, but Trashorama, it sounds like a new fun hobby station is always fun. I always love doing that. Get you in the mood, get your little space set up. I love that. Oh my gosh, somebody in Discord the other day posted their workup station. Oh my
Was it me?
No.
Oh.
Yours is good too.
I did mine.
No, yours is awesome. I do concur. I like how you did your bag. Who was it? You're showing your painting setup. Somebody. I'm going to call you out because your painting setup was dope. Hold. Bro. Go check his space out. Hot diggity darn. He did a great job. Hello, I'm new to the Discord server for Monument Hobbies. Can you point out where I can get more info on the challenges? Yes, absolutely. You're going to see a section off to the left that says challenges, and then it's going to say the month and the year, right? So, if, for example, you'll go down and see that, click on that, and when you click on it, there's always a pinned message up at the top that describes the challenge, right? And then that's it. You start with an unprimed mini, and you go for it. And they're supposed to be fun. This is not like a best painter competition. They're not to be overthought. Yeah. It's just to challenge yourself to do something new, right? So I always encourage people to go in there, have fun, don't overthink it. You can ask questions, but like I said, typically if I get asked a question, I'm going to tell you, yeah, sure, have fun.
I do not answer questions for the challenges.
Yeah.
Other than what is the principal theme of the challenge.
Yep.
Solely because I don't ever look at the
submissions at all.
The models until today, when we go through and go over them. The idea, like Chris said, is to have them be something that pushes you into unfamiliar territory, maybe uncomfortable territory, making you learn to do things in a different way than what you've been used to, and really push you to push your own techniques further.
Yeah.
Help you find styles and things that you love to do that you might not have known. Teach you mixing and blending in ways that are fun rather than just, hey, mix these two colors. No, it's like, okay, you can only paint with red. How are you going to make something look good if you only have one color to work with?
Yes, Anna said they say don't overthink it, but we inevitably do. Don't do that. Don't overthink it. Have fun. Any tips of not making actually, really quick, there was one up here. Booker says, it's cold here in Utah, like 30s and 40s, and I'm from Vegas where I can rattle can prime year round. Do I dare prime outside in the winter where the warm, the can in the sink trick?
You definitely can try it, depending on the paint. Yeah. Is it our paint or another rattle can style? Typically that works for everything. I've done this for decades, and there's many times where I have gone in and taken cheapo rattle can paint from Home Depot or the auto parts store or something like that and just heated it up and been able to get good work out of it in the winter. Make sure that you don't just heat it to where the aluminum can is warm, right? Because aluminum is a good heat sink, so it will warm up quicker than the paint inside. You have to leave it in the hot for long enough for the actual paint to heat up too.
Real Loose.
But once you do that, it should work great.
Real Loose says, any tips for not making faces look rubbish trying to paint Obi-Wan from Shatterpoint and I can't get the face skin tone right? Hey, I just linked that whole live. You should go check that one out.
Which the face painting
faces.
One?
Yep.
Where we did the 3?
Yep.
Those are some real... fairly simplistic. The two of them are really simple methods.
They came out great.
And then the underpainting's a little bit more difficult. But those are easier ways to get good, start for, in that case, Caucasian skin tone. But you could change the colors around. Just think in terms of where I use bright colors versus dark colors as you're watching that. And it'll work for any color skin.
Yeah.
So... that's a great way to do it. And as far as you may get a color and then when you get done, it's not quite the color you wanted the face to be. Like you say, you're doing Obi-Wan, maybe it turns out a little bit too pinkish or not pinkish enough. You can always then start kind of working the right flesh tone back into the skin workup that you've done to make it look better.
Swifter Bear says, speaking of Rattlecam, Monument Hobbies, did pricing change?
Yeah, it will. January 18th.
It's happening soon, so.
January 18th.
Relude, at some point, going back to what Jason's saying about the faces, we are condensing that stream down as well. So that tutorial will be coming out very soon as well. But for now, that whole bit, I actually have watched that stream several times now myself when I was doing my little hobbits. So go check it out.
All right, that went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to with just highlighting up all of the areas on the stone here.
M. Christensen, you're really calling me out here. Sure, don't overthink it. Like when someone offers to teach you non-metallic metal, just go for it and have fun. It's supposed to be fun. Way to try something new. I don't know if that's how you sound, but I said it that way. Touche.
I applaud whoever gave Chris hell.
They're banned, so it doesn't matter. You're not banned. Touche. Cheers. I will watch it tomorrow. Yeah, check it out. It's awesome. Yes, really, that's the point, is that whole stream was because I was asked Jason, like, hey, how do you paint small faces quickly? Like tell me the strategy, right? And at a 3-foot rule, that is awesome. That's also, kind of why we did it. What are you doing now?
You guys see his face as he asked me. So,
what are you doing now?
What are you doing now?
Dark camo green.
Like I'm untrustworthy or something.
No, no.
So,
this was a pivot.
What's your plan now?
This was a big pivot. So
well, I finished doing what I was doing.
I know, but you went to dark camo green?
And a full brush load of water like that, right into the edge of the dark camo green.
Oh, he's going to get some mossy stuff going.
Some glazy glaze.
Is that what you're doing?
Some glazy glazing.
Wow. Oh, Gandalf. That's magical. What are you doing? Oh. Okay. All right. Everybody calm down. Everybody just take it easy, all right? Cool off. Got the dark camo green out. What are you doing? What's the effect here? Just like rotting wood?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like this. Like me some dark camo green, chat. Are you surprised? A hint of moldy wood. Very nice. Defiant Bidet says yes.
Yeah, I think that having a little bit of a wet, moldy look to the wood fits this thing better than just the brown.
Ogre said, that video was awesome and changed my face game. Nice. That was the point of that stream, so I'm glad to hear that, Ogre.
Yeah, that's awesome. It really is meant to just kind of be a good primer on how to get started on faces and real easy steps.
Oh yeah,
that's great. The base coat wash highlight one is so easy that everybody should be able to learn that pretty quick and then feel really good about attacking faces. And then as you even get better, then you can start moving on to other versions of it. And again, you can use that same workup for any kind of face tones.
And Sharky says, have you found a workup you don't like? And I know that's directed towards me. Oh, yeah. I love all workups. I love them all.
He's a workup guy.
I'm a workup guy. I like workups. Sue me. I like most of them. I don't think I'm ever going to catch myself saying like, I don't like that workup. Not for me. I don't really say that. Because it isn't for me. It's for you. That's the point. Cambot, great question here. In your videos, you're really good at demonstrating how to use colors you might not normally expect to work to have a really great effect. Do you have a sleeper hit color? One that you think ought to be used more but is often forgotten? Great question. What's that sleeper color?
I don't know that on here we really have any because we do so much of that, right? I don't have any that because I paint every day and show you guys that kind of stuff. I don't know that I have any that I don't use that would be like sleepers. because I try to share all that stuff all the time. Let's think.
For...
Let's think though. Are there any that I like just break out rarely and they just like really drive it home when I do? Can you think of anything?
I would say also to look at this question a little bit deeper, right? I think royal purple, red oxide, and bright yellow green for your undertones. That I consider those sleeper colors, as in somebody might not be thinking about it at that level for under the glaze. That's when I read that question. That's what I see.
Okay.
Combat said yes, exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because like when you whip out that dark yellow or bright yellow green for skin, I'm like, okay, where are we going here?
We're not painting goblins. What are you doing?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, also, I think your dark purple for your base coats is kind of that color, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see me do it all the time. Purple for shadows is one of the biggest hits you can pull out of your collection and start building up on. This guy did it. We bought this army on Facebook that was painted like already, right? All these models came at various states of finished. And he had done that, right? He had used a purple, looked like a purple spray paint.
Okay.
Right? And like the Color Forge. And then over the top, put all of his paint, and so it gives you so much more depth with that purple shadow. Just this simple paint job, which is all like, imagine dry brush and wash.
Yeah.
But having that purple shadow gives so much more depth to a simple start job, which is why I'm able to then take that base coat and turn it into something with even more depth, because it already has such a great foundation to build off of, and that purple is the linchpin there.
Right.
So that's the biggest sleeper for most people, is figuring out a color to shadow with that isn't black. Right? Or dark gray. But in my own repertoire, I don't know that I have any sleepers. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Yellow, green.
Yeah, I just think that was a good one. Eradican says, whose pain setup am I looking for? Is it in Discord?
Crow.
Yeah, Crow. He did a great job. It just was really clean. I liked it. Inspired me. I liked the booth inside with the little thing that went to the window. I thought that was cool.
Oh, is he the one that had the length of heater hose going out the window?
And I also think they had a printer in that buggy to like vent it, which was a great idea for like a resin printer. I think that's what it was. Yes, it was a good one. Or it says, oh, burnt sienna truly changed how I painted my Imperial Fist. It really made that yellow pop. Nice.
Yeah, as a base tone. I think, really what it is getting to that point in understanding color where you can say that things that sit outside the norm, and they don't really, because once you learn this, like once you learn that burnt sienna, burnt orange, dark oranges as a base for yellow are fantastic, then it's less about, what the norm is at the time. It's just that I didn't realize that what normal really was is that, yellow doesn't always shade to just grays and blacks, right? It shades better to dark reds, oranges, and the like. You get way more out of the look. And so when you start thinking about that, there's a handful of colors that are sleeper colors in your collection right now that will see heavy duty work on every model at the point where you realize that. And it'll be things like burnt sienna, right? Things that you might find that are real earthy tone, dark earthy tones that you don't use very often, but have a lot of capacity to change your work for the better when you start using them as undertones, as shadow. It doesn't even have to be complicated paint jobs, right? Just using a different shade base than what you're used to. Payne's Gray is one of those, right?
Yep. Calder says, what's the humidity you have in the studio? I ordered a measurement tool, but I feel like it's too low here.
Humidity?
Yeah.
We don't have any.
Yeah, paint dries so fast that I'm not able to paint very long.
I think our standard humidity is like 7%.
It is raining today, but overall, what are some tips, Jason, on keeping your paint from not drying? You talk about like the tail effect and pulling your paint and not spreading it.
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the biggest ones. You know, we say don't put out a ton of paint. Focus more on the amount of paint you need for use, and then put paint out more often.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't put out a whole lot of paint, but I'll show you in just a second. Let me get this green on here. Yeah. And I'll show you a trick that is something that most people don't pay attention to that causes a lot of problems in maintaining wetness on your palette, or maintaining wet paint on your palette, I should say. I'm probably way overthinking this wood, but it's looking good.
I mean, that's cool. I would put that green would be cool everywhere. I like it. What's the verdigris on that gold you did?
Green oxide.
Green oxide. Yes, he'll get to the palette here in a little bit.
Yeah, give me just a second.
We'll also be getting to our challenge very soon, so gear up for that.
Is it almost 3?
It is 3 o'clock.
Wow. All right. So on the palette, bring up the palette. And like this green that I have here, notice how I've kept it as a droplet. Right? So both of these, the dark green and the light green, I have this drop that's right here. Okay? If I draw a circle around it like that. That's the drop of paint that comes out of the bottle. All of what I do to get paint is, you know, keeping moisture on my brush, and I touch the edge of the paint droplet and pull it down here. So this is my working area here. It doesn't disturb the droplet except for when I touch the bottom edge here and pull paint down. And then I can thin this how I want. I can make it a glaze. I can use it just straight out of the droplet, whatever I need. And that paint will stay good and usable longer because it's in a tight droplet and there's less air touching the paint here. Now, what you see a lot of people do on YouTube and such, and so some people do this, is they'll take the droplet, I'm going to use this droplet up here and do it with it, is they'll take it and they'll just put their brush into the droplet and spread the whole droplet out like this, right? Yeah. And then go paint. This will dry almost instantly because look at how much surface area of paint touches air versus here. Here it's smaller than a dime. Here it's like, you know, a 50-cent piece. Same amount of paint, right? Spread out or kept close. Keep it close and just grab a little bit out of the edge because you can paint a long time with this little bit of paint I've pulled off, as opposed to spreading it out and then going to paint with it, because this will dry very, very quickly. I won't be able to use this near as long. Right. So keep your paint in a tight drop and then just grab a little bit out of the side and pull it down into a pool that you need to do. And you can mix with it. I can grab paint from up here and mix colors down here and do whatever I need to, but always leave the droplet the way it was. It helps you maintain consistency with your paint because this droplet will always be the same consistency of paint. You haven't added any water or anything to it. It's just paint out of the bottle. All of your water and medium and everything else you're adding goes down here. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your droplet forms a skin very quickly. You should just be able to poke through. When you say quickly, what are you talking about? 30 seconds? 10 minutes? Quick is a very subjective term. My paint skins over, but remember, I'm going back into the droplet all the time.
Yeah.
I'll paint a little, back to droplet, paint a little, back to the droplet. So I'm constantly taking a damp brush and pulling paint out of it. So this won't skin over for quite a while. Right now, these paints from yesterday are skinned over, obviously, and dried up. So you will waste some paint. That's just the nature of painting, right? But you should get a lot of use out of this. There are very few places on the planet that are more dry than where we are painting right now.
That's true.
And I literally don't have any problem and don't have any a piece of glass.
Yeah.
It's not refrigerated or anything. There's no moisture involved here. So a lot of it is just continually working the same color. Don't put out a lot of colors on your palette. You work with one color at a time. Every now and then you'll see me put down 2 if I'm working those same colors together all the time. But in general, it's that I'm trying to keep one color active and paint that one color. If I'm mixing 2 colors, I've got 2 and I mix them side by side. Yep. But I'm constantly interacting with them, and just by putting your brush and moving your brush through it keeps it from skinning over because you've always got motion on it. So if you put a lot of paint on your brush and you're over here painting on the model for an hour, then it has a lot of time to skin over when you're not touching it. So less paint on the brush, more detailed brush strokes, unless you're base coating, and then you're going hog wild, but you're going back to the droplet more to get more paint all the time anyway. So that should be the key.
Cool.
Jason, good stopping point for us.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We see my model? Put it up on screen.
Let me see your model, Jason. Oh. Well.
I think that little bit of green.
That's cool.
Works pretty well.
I dig it.
Gives it that gross
feel.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's pretty much done.
That's pretty cool. I dig it. All right. We're going to be going over our challenge.
I need my agua.
Hop on in, Grant.
And I'm going to have a granola bar.
That's right. I'm going to change this over to this. And we're going to go to challenge review.
Yeah, for being a repaint is pretty cool.
Hey, we are
just use his base coats and just accentuate it.
The December challenge.
Yeah, that's a fun thing, right? Is because then it makes it even faster.
Was it contrast that he used?
There was a lot of contrast on it, and then dry brushed of other colors. They were all GW colors of various types.
Can you hear me, Chris?
I can. Make sure it's nice and close to your face.
Is that good?
Stick your cheek on it like this, man.
Welcome in, everybody.
Hey, so the crowd gets the ASMR of my face on the microphone.
The December challenge. And we're starting off. It is Independence Day in December, so you guys were tasked to find a flag that was important to you and then use colors from that flag. Either your country's, your state, or family member's state, something like that. So that is where we're at. And we're going to start it off with Red Xenos. USA. This guy's cool.
This one what?
This guy's cool.
Yeah, he's fun.
It's a neat model.
It's fun.
I at first glance,
yeah,
we've got orange and blue. So is that a?
It looks like a mix. Remember, they could use white and black too.
Yeah,
we gave them that.
I'm just not seeing the red. Right, I get a little bit more of the orange, but I love the model.
Maybe use a lot of
that.
The
could
red.
be the tone of the camera though too.
Could be. Yep. It could
be. And the model in front of your face, that might be more red than orange.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the double-sided color.
Ogre, take it easy. But I love this. Great job. And of course, using the warm side, cool side deal is a really great way to pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the blue side's shadow effect because the red base comes up and around like it's in the light. Very nice.
Great job. General Ginkgo.
This is crazy too.
This guy's wild.
That eye looks like a bullet hole.
Is
it an eye or is it a hole?
It might just be a hole in his head. I don't know what it is. How about that tongue or whatever? What is that tentacle thing coming out of the mouth? Okay, so there's part of me right now.
Kind of got like
this is something nobody wants to know about me, but there's part of me right now that wishes that that's how tongues worked. Okay. I feel like maybe. Do you think you'd bite your tongue more if they worked this way? If your tongue came out behind your teeth and looped around the side? Is that not a question you're comfortable answering, Chris? You look very uncomfortable right now.
No, I'm really imagining this in my mind. I think I would use that to my advantage.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, in a big way.
In a big way, in a good way.
This is a good way. This one's a really good look at, okay, so I have to use colors from a flag. I'm going to pick the U.S. flag, so I have red, white, and blue. Lots of flags in the world are red, white, and blue. So I've got red, white, and blue. Where do red, white, and blue, where can you use them? Both of these models were good examples. of how to use red, white, and blue in a way that does not look like a flag.
Right.
Because, we talk a lot about using greens and reds together, and when you do, it feels like Christmas if you're not careful.
Exactly.
And it's because our brain has these formed pairings or couplings of colors that give us a theme because it's something that's been in our life all the time.
Right.
Whether it's Christmas or you name it, right? You get the Thanksgiving time and it's all oranges and yellows and fall leaf colors and things like that. And so we can use color to evoke that thematic response and recognition. These colors, sometimes we talk about it like it's hard when I'm painting those Knights purple and yellow to not make them feel like the LA Lakers because, know, that...
you associate the color with the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is great because both of these, the little skull knight guy and then this are both great models and great use of color because this is, his skin and the blue on the red skin is like, like that octopus with the rings on it, right? It's like where it has like that coloring in nature.
Uh-huh.
And it's a really great use of these colors to make it not look like if you took the flag out of the picture here, this is just a cool demonic model. The red and the blue go very well together. So great job on that. And same on the previous one too, right? It's using the color in a way because you could have chosen on the Knight. Go back to the Knight.
Yeah.
You could have chosen on this guy rather than to use this as a dual lighting theme where the blue is the cool shadowed light from the rear and the red is the warm light from the front. You could have painted the hood red and the gloves red and the boots red and the armor blue. Yeah. And then you look like a sports jersey. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be careful when using especially bright colors. That's one of the things that this flag challenge represents is of use where most flags have very vibrant coloring to them. And so being able to take those vibrant colors, put them next to them and not have them look like sports teams or flags, right? You can imagine Brazil has that bright green and yellow, right? And a little bit of blue. Yeah. And so if you were to put those together and you weren't careful, everything you paint will look exactly like the Brazilian flag. So how can you use the colors to look like they're supposed to be on this model and not be?
So there's actually a cognitive scientific reason why General Ginkgo's, you can make the separation and not immediately think about the flag. The use of blue sporadically and in little small blocks
like this
actually allows your eye to deviate. You see it immediately, but your mind starts to place it like blocks and you're not putting it all together into one formed this is a section, this is what it means.
Yeah. And also the ropes on this, the use of colors to get the ropes to this certain color is a really cool use case for the limited palette. Great job.
And the model's amazing.
All right. Dyslexic Mini Painter.
Ooh. Oh, very cool.
Little astronaut guy.
The same kind of it's the colors of the nebula are giving off the red and the blue, but it's that contrast of lighting, right? And the colored lighting that's pulling it off.
I love the black hole that this little guy is seeing that he's getting pulled into.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what that is, right?
Is that like a reflection on the?
It is.
On the face shield.
I believe. Yes, I believe he's getting. I believe he's getting sucked into the warp of that. Whatever this is.
Yeah, that's whatever's reflecting back
looks like
in there. It is like a black hole or a nova or something like that.
It's a little black hole.
Very cool.
All right. Ooh, number 2 from Dyslexic Mini Painter.
So much red, white, and blue. I like it.
I love the background.
Well, I think half the nations of the earth are red, white, and blue flags.
A lot of them are.
Okay, so again, we're seeing this common theme, right, of the blue being the cool nighttime glow of moonlight or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the red being a warm glow from a separate direction. The fact that this is a green army man is amazing.
I was about to say that's an army man.
This is from the dollar store green army man stuff.
That's awesome.
Oh, is there things at the dollar store that are baseless army men?
Like they don't have bases?
No, you get a bag of army men. These are those cheap green plastic army men.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool, Dyslexic.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great use of this. And those, like I said, this is a great way to use a model that doesn't have a lot of detail, but make a very detailed kind of instance for it. So, again, on these challenges, we've said in the past, if you want models to practice on, those cheap army men from the dollar store, the anatomy's off. Yes, the molds suck. Yeah, they're horrible. They don't have a lot of detail. But you can still paint them, and in some ways, if you can make that model look good for all its crappy plastic, then you've really done a number, right? And so this is making making a model like that look good without even really spending a whole lot of time on the model, because it's the color, the environmental color is the scene.
Yeah.
Right.
And it gives you an option to paint and learn shadows and effects and lighting, because like it's super cheap.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the fact that he's done the
backdrop's
depth of field
fantastic.
with the backdrop, like he crawled through this trench. I'm wondering what the explosion-y looking blue really is from, though. Is that like some sort of warp thing coming up
Oh, this.
on the back?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, cloud, night sky.
Is that the flying spaghetti monster?
Could be.
All right.
Oh,
Strandy minis. Oh.
I like it.
the Missouri State flag.
Mizzou. Again,
Missouri.
very, very great job here. Right? I like the use of the red and the black to pull off that red skin tone more, like that that demonic red, not just pure red.
Yep.
Gives it some life. Yeah, and the use of the blue and the white is really nice on the clothing, because the clothing, pulling the clothing into blue and white and then the skin into red, again, keeps it different than had you use the red as another part of the clothing, it would have made it too sports team. Here, the blue and the white is the clothes, the red is just the skin, and so altogether they form your composition. Looks really good.
I like this. Yeah. Also, you could really see a good use of the
Yep, the
fun
gold and the
colors,
green, the
golds,
little
yep.
spots of green. I love how you've kept the fields of red and blue the big, so you've even got the right proportion of color
That's what I was
in
thinking.
amongst everything else, which is really cool.
There's not a lot of green, obviously, on this model, right?
Yep.
Or on this flag, so just that little hint of it is really cool.
Yep.
So this one did a great job. Little Billy.
With the coming in from the Philippines. I like it.
Little Billy. I see. You did a lot of mixing here.
Okay, wait a minute. So we've mixed the yellow and the blue to create a green that doesn't exist on the flag.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh. What is this model?
It's like a
chaos
demon, right?
Yeah.
Because I see horns, a horned head, and flames on the back. I don't know what it's from, but it's cool. It's got a big gun as an arm.
Okay, you did mix them. Yeah, I figured. It does. Oh, it is. Oh, this is the new Age of Sigmar stuff. That's what this is, I believe, right, Little Billy? I think so. The dwarves, the Chaos Dwarves, I think, have big bull units.
Awkwardish, we told you could only use the colors from the flag plus white and black. In this case, you've used the colors as primaries to mix a secondary out of yellow and blue as green. Not against any rule or anything. It does throw off the composition a little bit, because what I'm really wanting to see is only the coloration of the flag used on the composition. But this is very heavy, that color combo, right? You've got the gold and yellow, the white, the blue, and the red, and those are all done very well. You've got the gold and yellow performing, as metal and as cloth and as flame, so really good use of that in the various situations, because all of those colors look enough different because of the mixing. So great job on this for doing that. The green throws it off because the green isn't in the flag, but that's only from our looking at the flag and then looking at the piece and wondering where the green came from. But moving from the yellow through to the blue and that green mix is actually really cool here.
No, it's all good. Little
Tells
Billy.
a good story. So I like it. Great job.
Netherlands, Old Gamer. Nice.
Old Gamer from the Netherlands.
Old Gamer NL. No, Old Gamer.
I like it.
I believe this is is this your first submission, Old Gamer? Remind me. I think this was your first submission.
First challenge?
I think so.
Nice.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Old Gamer. I'm trying to remember if this was your first one. I see you're in chat here, so I don't know. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
And this is a smart entry, because you've picked a character that fits the color scheme of your flag.
Yeah.
so it's kind of cheating, right? Because it's like everybody expects this character to have these colors, which is great.
It's a good pick.
Yondu in blue and red. Who'da thunk? So great job, because it immediately does it. I would like to find a little bit more of the white in a pure sense to pull it off here. The white's been used as a good tint, but I'd like to see a little bit more white someplace on this. Maybe some of the tail of smoke that the arrow is leaving would have been a really cool place to use the white, the pure white here.
Uh-huh.
Nice. But yeah, great job.
All right. Next one. Shadow Knight. Florida. I just noticed
The
these.
trees,
I
yeah.
just noticed.
Oh, that's
palm
even look
trees.
at that with the palm trees on the desert there. That's rad.
Oh.
Yeah, because it does have in its on the
it has,
Florida
like,
one with like the ship and the trees.
Yeah,
The
that's
sunset.
funny.
Oh, you've taken it all the way. Yeah,
Awkward-ish,
I love
don't
it.
worry about
I
it.
love the Emperor's Eagle, the wings on the front with the colors on it.
Yeah.
This is great because the model being in white and then all of the colors being the accents that are painted on it is really good and makes it feel very flag adjacent, right?
Yes, that's kind of what I was getting at.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
This is almost like you've taken the concept of the flag and overlaid it like these are the Florida Marines. You
Yeah.
know, like they're literally coming from Florida because you've got the X on the wheel wells, on the fenders. Yeah, great job.
Marines.
I love this one's a lot of fun. You're seeing how you can take these challenges and, we didn't give a whole lot of rules on how to use the color. It's more about making sure that it is representative of the colors in the flag. And some people have chosen to use them in a way that makes it not look like a flag. And then you have here something where I said you have to be careful when painting things like clothing, with all those colors because they start looking like team jerseys and you may not want them to.
Right.
But this is deliberately trying to be almost like, like NASCAR. It's got like its sponsor stickers on it, and it is the Florida Marines. I like it. It's Florida Man chapter of Astartes. I like it.
What do you think, Grant?
No,
Great
I love
job.
it. And it's really neat, especially that it's a white scars model and they didn't make the red super poppy, like thick, which you normally see for white scars. The palm trees, though, make it.
Yeah. Yeah, the palm trees are great.
Nice. All right, next.
Mo, what's happening?
Cambot. Ooh. This is a great one.
I like these little scenic dioramas people are doing too.
Yeah.
I like this one because it looks almost like we've got like there's that blown out barrel with is that like toxic ooze leaking out of the barrel?
Plus, I like the color differentiation, like where there's blue on the dark sides and then red from the lava on each of these sides. That came out great.
Yeah, it's cool. And the dioramas are awesome. You guys have really taken to heart, like, having neat bases.
Nice, Cambot. Gotcha.
Well, and the fact that you've taken the red, blue, and the white and given us this, like, lilac color or this really, light violet on the middle fish there is great.
Yep.
Good job there. That third picture really shows off a really neat contrast in the red highlight from the lava onto the fish, the blue fin, and then that kind of, faded purple that he got from the mix is fantastic.
Cambot, great job.
Yeah, neat scene setup on this one. And again, great use of color. And, the way I intended in my head, but we didn't communicate it this way, is that when you look at these models, it should not evoke the fact that there was anything having to do with a flag involved. And then you can say, oh, here was the challenge. And people will be like, oh, my God, you killed it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so far, everybody's really done a great job with that.
Jason, mindless mini.
All right.
The
Maryland flag is like one of the coolest ever. It's very old. It needs to be on the shield of Norman knights.
It's like a coat of arms.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did a lot of mixing here, Jason. This is I've really never paid attention to this flag. This is a cool flag.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Yeah. So this one, again, this is one where we've taken all the colors and not had them be representative of what we're seeing. We've mixed the red and the yellow and gotten a really good orange and really painted a crab more suited for the model, just using those colors and mixing them all together.
Yeah.
So it misses on what I was hoping for, which was being able to see the flag juxtaposed with the model and really drag all of those colors and those kind of like extrapolate them in the same sense that they are in the flag. Like I would like to see some of the stark white on this, but I really love the fact that you've used all the colors, and I can tell you've used all the colors in there.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten that orange. That might have been nice to see the black used a little bit more.
So isn't the crab like the state? I don't know, not birds.
Well, yeah,
state
Maryland
creature?
crab cakes.
Okay.
Right? So doing the crab is awesome.
Yeah,
the Maryland crab is hilarious, right? Yeah, I love it. It's not lost on me, right? I love it.
That's cool. We Dan.
Oh.
Okay, this is rad.
That is really neat.
Oh yeah.
What is that like the black ooze coming out of his face?
It's
Yeah,
smoke.
he's blowing the smoke out, and
That's
he
a
doesn't
sa-
have
It's
eyes.
coming out of the eyeballs.
Yeah,
I
'cause he
know,
doesn't
I
have
think
eyes.
it's just a metaphor for smoke. Yeah.
Oh, it's got a cigarette.
Yeah, it got
Yeah.
a cigarette. Yeah. It's like some kind of thing he's
I'm
smoking.
like, what's going on with his finger? Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
I'm too busy looking at the glow from the inside of the chest, right? So very
that's
good
cool.
job done from kind of like an eerie inner glow from right there at the sternum, right where the clavicle and the sternum come together. There, you've got that really neat glow from inside, almost like a dragon about to breathe a fireball at you. So great job on all that. Good job on keeping that kind of fire inside view going on. And, of course, the black and white giving you the gray is a great way to introduce, but you can tell all of the simple, red and yellow gives you a great way to use that heat and pull the heat off on a model. So, again, great choice of model to be able to make these colors, tell the story, and still be able to pull the model away and feel like, yeah, this model was supposed to be this way. Great job.
Yeah, I love
Hey, Little Billy says, weed in your band.
Weed in your band.
Yeah, it's like an x-ray on the ribs, right? That's exactly. Great job on
You did
that.
a great job. Mondays. Ooh, another Missouri.
Yep.
I love this. It goes back to Jason's original point about the last one. I see most of the flag colors in this as the prominent colors, right?
Yep.
For like the red, the white, and even the blue, even though it's little.
The shadows.
The shadows and the beard. I'm getting all of that.
And you could drag it, like, the flag to the model.
Yeah.
That's kind of the intent of the challenge. So, yeah, really well done.
This is real clean.
Yeah, both of these where they took the little spot of green and threw it in there as an accent color is done very tastefully. I really like it.
Mondays, yeah, you did a clean job here. I love
DF Bovey the crab could have had a white belly. Yeah, could have used some of the white or the stark colors on there, but still a great job.
Yeah. The
This one's great. This one I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the blue used to be more pronounced as blue. I can tell that some of the beads themselves they look like they alternate from green to blue.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Which is cool.
Treebeard, Germany.
Deutschland. Fantastic. And again, great choice of the model so that the colors tell the story.
Yep.
And still meet the challenge, right? Sometimes these challenges really just do that. They're like, oh, I have the perfect model for this because those colors won't limit me on this model, right? On this model, you can see yourself painting this model that way anyway without the challenge.
Yep.
Again, that's really what I was looking for coming in, is saying that, yep, that works.
Yeah.
This is just a cool Seder blacksmith.
Mondays,
I like it.
Yeah, Monday says, thank you. This was my first one. Also my first mini ever submitted. Nice. I'm glad you're able to participate. Treebeard always does a great job.
First mini ever submitted for anything. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tangent says, I misinterpreted the challenge. Fun fact, though, I didn't. Usin? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. No, I think Tangent.
Everybody that I've seen so far has done it really well. We didn't give a fundamental direction. We said you just have to use those colors as a limited color, a limited palette challenge using the colors of your flag. The only thing I mentioned is that I wanted it to be representative, so when we saw it next to the flag, that it made sense. So when we look at the only one that had done a ton of mixing on it was the crab from Maryland, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's going the other way, which is creatively telling a story, saying that I'm going to take the colors of the flag, mix them all together into my own palette, paint a model that is indicative of the flag and the state that the flag came from. So that was just kind of a bigger circular route to get to the end game.
Right.
But it was fantastic. Yeah.
Megan the Odd.
Megan the Odd. Okay,
this is a really clean model.
Yeah, this is amazing.
The colors just pop. Everything
is there,
Yeah.
right? Everything is there.
I mean,
I'm looking for
the cape.
It's all there.
Yeah.
The magenta on the little cape.
The scarf, right?
Right, the scarf that also it goes from magenta to red. So I think it handles both. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a back. Yeah. There's on the back there you have like a headpiece too. It looks like.
And that's a unique flag too.
Excellent job too. It really shows this. I feel like definitely hit the challenge where I'm like, okay, I see all of the colors you used on the flag with all of the colors here, right? Like it just works.
Yep. Yeah, and terrific job on the paint and the usage of the blue especially.
Yeah.
Right? Great job on all that. Fantastic. I like the almost comical separation between colors with the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. This came out great. Awkwardish.
Ha!
Pulling
What?
out her snow globes.
Oh no.
You can't see here. Let me show this. She labeled them too.
I mean,
right? Jordan, Chris, Jason, Grant. You made Gabe the duck.
The
Why did you
angry
make
duck.
me the psycho Awkwardish with the? I guess they're all a little psycho, huh?
yeah, I think they're all psycho. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. I
Awkwardish.
love the models themselves with the little M's sewn onto the butts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. This
No,
is so
you're-
good.
Yeah, you're good because look, I can also see all these colors there too, right? So
I mean, everything.
yeah,
I mean, you know what? I might have to go get a Monument M on my right cheek.
There you go.
on your right cheek, and you know why you
Tattoo.
need to do it with the colors, Grants. Yeah,
No, it looks really cool. And it's a fun thing because they're individual models and they're snow globes, and I love that snow globe
that's Awkwardish. Now
Yep.
that's why
Yep,
we were.
now
asking.
I get it. I figured it was something.
Hey, what are the colors of Grant's eyes?
I figured it was something like that.
I love it, Awkwardish. You crushed it. Plus,
Holy
These
amazing.
are real snow globes, so you
Yeah.
did like a whole little solution and stuff in this, right? I remember you were mentioning that last time you did these.
Like, what's in it?
Yeah, like is it like a?
It's like a glycerin, like a.
I was just about to say a glycerin of some kind, right? Have you had something like where the paint or the model disintegrates after a while, or?
Well, it doesn't have a solvent to it.
Oh, I
It
guess
has to
that's
be
true.
fairly inert. Yeah, distilled water and glycerin makes it inert.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're not going to get anything really happening inside there, like mold or anything
Gotcha.
joining. So that's
These are
really, really cool. That's freaking awesome.
It's so unique.
Great job. I'll pass this along to Gabe and Jordan.
Great. Yeah, great job.
Kentucky, Swifter Bear.
Swifter.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
This really does. Interesting flag, too. This does convey this.
Blue, white, and yellow.
Yeah.
So again, we've taken the blue and the yellow and been able to mix it into a green to give you the ability to paint out something that isn't quite as limiting if you're just doing, blue, gold, white.
Yeah.
And I really like that, but still maintaining those colors in there.
Well, this green oxide color right here, right, in the flag, that little bit on the bottom.
Where am I seeing green oxide?
Look at the flag, right? And then you see that bit underneath the white seal.
It's
on
separating.
this television that just looks light blue.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a little green oxide.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the green oxide in the
It
picture.
looks-
Now that
yeah,
makes more sense.
It looks blue, but no,
It just
that-
looks blue on this
okay.
TV. So
Yeah, that TV is not the
the
best.
color on this TV over here is probably throwing that off.
I never wanted to do this, but I think you should fire Chris for setting up this horrible TV.
What?
Yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
I mean,
I'm just
this is-
drinking my water. I don't know
this
what
is-
he's talking about.
This is Chris's room. This is Christopher's purview.
I use what I'm given, mister. You hear that? That's your community manager chat right over there. Call me out. This is great, though.
You invited him.
I did.
And the model, also though, really fast. The model's really cool because it's an action pose, and that's
Yes.
fun.
It's like a
It's like
griffin-y
a
thing
reindeer griffin.
attacking
a
orc,
helpless
an
orc.
orc.
I told Grant was coming for you. Yes, oh Billy, he's coming for me.
2000
Fired.
2026.
That's great.
No, great job.
Doomsday Sprocket, Canada.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I'm surprised this is the first Canada we've had.
Canada.
So I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me, are there like little astronaut figures that you can get? Because we had the guy on the giant moon cheese.
These are a thing, and I don't remember you can get these STLs, but a lot of people sculpt them themselves.
Okay.
And there's a lot of famous artists that do them in these crazy,
yeah.
lonely wandering spaceman.
Or they put him in such like a radical situation. He's
Yeah.
just this little guy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
thanks
these
for
are-
letting me know. I'm gonna have to track these down. But that's a
Sarcastic
really,
Grandpa
really
says
cool
X up
model.
if you agree with Grant.
Oh, man. Oh.
Chris, you're fired.
I'm fired. You heard it. I do like this little guy.
A little astronaut challenge. Nice.
Nice. Cool. Captain Crumble.
Wow.
I mean, this is the flag.
Yeah, that's
you can't get better than this.
it's a really good model for this.
What a great
Captain Crab just wins because it's like, hey, I have the 3D version of the flag.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is a great.
Nailed it.
This is
Right.
great.
Being able to take the field for Wales, with the Welsh flag is amazing.
Yeah.
And being able to take that and just say, okay, here you go. This is Wales. This is the model of Wales.
Wow.
Right. And great use of the white and the black, or the black itself, to be able to do the scales and the nails on the.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a cool
great job.
use for that
This one's good.
because the black is
and
not overwhelming.
it does feel like the flag. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really think that, the creativity of, somebody seeing this challenge and saying, oh, do I have the right thing?
Yeah.
And being proud of the Wales, the whole Welsh history of the flag, and then just saying, I'm going to paint something cool that is nerdy as well is great. And we've seen it all throughout this entire challenge. So good stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why we do this, right? Is to get your brain churning so that you tell a story that isn't just defined by us. I could sit here and tell you what model to use and how to paint it and have it feel like a college course, but at the end of the day, that's not fun, right? What's fun is allowing your brain to go wild. And we've seen some really good creative things drawn out here, right? The crab and the Maryland one, the dragon on the Welsh, the great use of color on some of these that just go taking the color of the flag and using it on something you like, even though you don't want to make it feel flag-like. All of these are great interpretations of the challenge.
And the one aspect of the challenge that I really
dragon, too.
appreciate, since I've been, lucky to be a part of it, is actually seeing the models that are chosen.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool because that's an aspect of creativity that I never really think about on the challenge.
We had a Green Army man.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
They are fun to paint. It's a challenge, and we may do the Green Army Man challenge for not next month, but the month after, just because it is one of the best it's cheap, so anybody can get a hold of Green Army Man.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad asking people to go spend a couple bucks on Green Army Men.
Yeah.
But to make a Green Army Man look good is something we should do a stream about because they are horrible models.
Yeah, we should. I was literally, as you were talking about that,
They're
I was thinking,
horrible models.
You are priming them, right?
Yeah, you can prime them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're horrible because they have horrible amounts of flash and mold lines, and they're not made of a plastic you can really clean.
Yeah,
so they're a fight both from just the model standpoint and from the painting because they have no details. They're vaguely humanoid shaped and they have an M16.
And here's another model that
one of them has a bazooka.
Yeah, another model that represents the flag really well, because it's Mexico.
Yeah,
and that's a really neat model.
Yeah.
And the green on the grass, I mean, it's really good. Like everything looks absolutely fantastic for this model.
Yeah, the turquoise is very prominent on it. I'd like to see more of the green.
Yeah,
on it.
I'm losing a little.
But again, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it may be the color on our monitor too. Like the sword may have more green to it. Can you confirm?
Yeah,
it's pretty jade.
It's pretty jade.
Yeah, it's pretty jade.
The sword in itself has green,
color.
and then the base.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's more of this color right here.
Yeah, that turquoise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but great job. And again, yes, fantastic. Just like the crab, right? This is a great way to do this. And all these colors and the mix of all these colors gives a great palette that you would normally paint this model in anyway. You would shove this model in front of me and I'd say, great job. And I wouldn't have any idea that it was meant to be a limited color, palette challenge in any sense. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, this seems right at home, right?
Yeah.
Now, a little bit cheaty to pick a flag that has 19 freaking colors in it. Come on.
I mean,
I love that we've had people go through. I don't feel like everybody that used the Missouri flag is from Missouri.
Mexico. Okay, so you're saying that the green is a little bit better for. Okay, got you.
Okay,
your camera might need
cool.
a little white
and there's green on the base and everything. So the usage of it is just and this has no bearing on anything. I'm just looking at it as obviously the Mexican flag is primarily green, red, and white, and this is very turquoise forward, which is bringing out that accent color and putting it in the foreground, which I think is great.
What gremlin? Ukraine.
Oh, nice. So the monochromatic paint in the blue, and then the mix of the green and the yellow, or the blue and the yellow to give you the green shock on the feather is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the yellow for the jewelry, I think, is fantastic. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is a really good one too. I'm always a big fan of things, it always takes me back to like Frank Miller's comic books where you have an all black and white comic with a red tie on a guy.
Yeah.
Or the man in yellow, right? And
Right.
you've got like just one shock of color, or the woman in the red dress, and it's all black and white except for red. And this kind of gives that vibe where it's very monochromatic in the blue, but has a shock of color to it too, which is great.
No, I dig it. What do you think, Grant?
Oh, I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. And I like that they picked a very simple flag.
Tangent. Utah.
I have to look at a book of state flags. I don't remember any of these flags in primary school.
I didn't either.
Sorry, Chad, I'm a product of Arizona
So wait a minute,
Public
Chris, did
Education.
somebody finish this model before you did?
It's not the same model.
To be fair, this is
small.
I was asked, hey, Chris, you should paint yours too, and I haven't finished mine. And to be fair, this is not that big of a dragon.
I mean, look at the paint bottle. Unless we're selling
To be fair,
primary size paint bottles.
Unless this is a magic bottle I've never seen. This is a smaller dragon than this one down here amongst my things.
A lot of deflection going on in chat. A lot of deflection.
Tangent. This is 3
Lot
printed
of
at
deflection
60%.
happening in
I
chat.
saw Utah and I thought Zorn palette. There you go. Yeah.
I love it though.
Thought Zorn palette, yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
I think,
like it.
Tangent, your next challenge should be getting the real one. Just saying.
Just saying.
Whoever submits an actual smog model painted, I would send them a bag reward because building that model was a nightmare.
Oh my gosh, this thing was.
Yeah.
The resin's horrible on them.
Though, yeah, it's not good.
It's indicative
is
of
cool,
the worst
though.
years of Forge World.
This is very, very cool. You did a great job, Tangent. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing.
I think everybody's into that sort of thing, Chris. That's why they're here.
Utah, what's up with this flag? What's up with this flag?
It's the B
cool.
state.
I like it.
It's the what
It's
state?
super cool.
The B state.
The B state?
Sure.
Who's the A state?
Oh,
Sorry.
I
Why did you
appreciate
do
that
that?
joke.
Who's
What
the A
was that
state?
hand signal?
Where's
what was that
where's
gang
your,
sign
where's your
for,
wah,
Chris?
wah?
Jack
Yeah.
couldn't see that he
Yo.
threw some gang sign under the
Who's
desk
A
at us.
state, yo?
What was he even doing?
Okay.
What are we dealing with here?
That's the last one.
That's the last one?
That's
Oh,
it. All
okay.
right. So
I have my winner already.
Okay.
Awkwardish, because I said if anybody makes a snow globe, they win. So I have to hold true to that. So
You-
Awkwardish wins.
You did?
Yeah.
That was my
It's-
statement live. I said if anybody does a snow globe, they win.
It's
I might have
such-
said that to the last one though.
I think you.
I can't remember when I said that, but I think it just holds true.
Well, November was just yesterday, so
That's true. Okay, Grant. That's your official pick.
Anybody that ever makes a snow globe wins. Now they'll all be snow globes.
we're gonna get 11 more. we're
Next
gonna get
month will
12
be
more
all snow globes.
All right. Jason, you're going to pick another one. Your follow-up. And
My
then-
follow-up. Okay, hang on.
and
Let me
then-
think.
And then Grant's going to pick one.
Oh, I already have it.
All right, go back to the beginning. Flip through them fast. Go back to the beginning. Okay, now go. Yep. 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 That's so good.
Yeah.
I this was the first one that took it's turning around. Okay, keep going. Oh, that was really good too. Holy crap.
yeah.
Oh. That one's mine, Megan the Odd.
Oh, that's what I was gonna pick.
Tough noogies.
Okay. Keep going.
Tough noogie.
I mean, you do sign my paycheck, so I'll give you that.
That one was like immediately the flag. Other than
That's
Megan the Odd.
other
of
other
course.
than the whales, because the whales one took you into the dragon and it was part of the deal. So the whales in this one, I think, and in a weird way, the Maryland one because of the crab, because the content and all of that, right? But this one immediately was like you just overlay the flag. This is the flag.
Yeah.
Even though the characterization in the model doesn't have anything to do with the flag, but it works. It was great.
Okay, Grant.
All right, keep going. Womp womp.
And if you're a winner,
really they're all good. Why do you do this?
Yeah, they
hey,
are.
I'm going to need everybody to do worse.
if you're a winner,
make this easier on the
hit
judges,
up Grant
please.
in Discord.
Yeah.
Have some compassion for your judges.
At Grant M, please. Keep going. Okay.
I'm going to go back.
Yes, please. That's my...
There's so many good ones. That one's really good.
it's Treebirds.
That one's really good. That one's really
White
good.
is really good too.
That one's really good. All of them are so good. The palm trees.
The palm trees are...
Serenity is really good.
So awesome.
All right,
All of them are great.
Grant, who is it?
All right. Go right again. Not so fast. Slow down. Keep going. Go. Okay, go.
Oh, that's a good one
To
too.
the right. It's
These are
so hard.
fantastic.
It's not fair, right? Right. Maybe keep going. You know what? It's going to be Treebeard.
Treebeard.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
Because it has an oven mitt.
Well, no, I love it, and it does hit the German flags really, really well. And I like models that tell stories. Honorable mention the little astronauts who I'm going home and after we
What's the
get
problem
up
is
today.
that we're all like, can they all win? They all just win. Everybody wins.
Yeah, no, it was really good. A shout out to Megan though. Like when we were going through this, that was the one that, as Jason explained, you know, the spirit he was trying to envision with the contest. Can you take the flag and move it onto the model?
Yeah,
and that just hit it out of the.
Well, it's a
park.
very hard one. When we really get into it, what I'm talking and what you've defined there is to make it to where you've taken the flag, use those colors indicative in the flag on the model in that way, and not have the model look like a flag.
yeah.
How do you have something be completely representative without just looking like you painted it with those flag colors, but you did, right? And so the Megan the Odd model did a great job of wrapping all those colors. Again, like I said, that model, you would not be mad to see this model painted like this and not have any idea that a flag was involved at all.
And
right? This just makes sense. And part of that is picking the subject matter. What is the model? Right?
Yep.
Because this model has enough whimsy to it, being that it's a stork, or not a stork. Stork.
I think so. It's a stork.
Stork. Pelican has the big basket on its thing.
Right.
Yeah. So like a stork and a knightly, armor and all that is just fantastic because it has enough cartoonishness that these vivid colors tell a better story on this. If you were to take I don't know, some grimdark model like a Nurgle model and paint it like this, you have to do a lot more to make it not look like you just painted flag colors on it.
Right.
Because the eye and the brain don't correspond, and seeing something that makes sense in the form you've presented it, it seems forced. So this doesn't seem forced. This seems like a character that is normally painted this color, and it just so happens these are all the colors in the flag.
And I know that after we put the clean challenge up for January, there was some questions. This model to me would be a clean model, right?
Yes. Good. Great segue. Jason, can you describe the clean model challenge? There's some... Explain it, though. Explain it to us.
Well, this is a good example. The challenge... Well, you got to pick your winners, guys. Don't derail this.
No, I did.
No.
I'm not picking one.
Yeah, you are.
I am?
You have to.
I get to? I know exactly who I'm picking.
Let's hear it.
Do you see what he just did to me?
Actually, let me double check.
That little astronaut.
Okay. No, it's Mondays for sure. This one spoke to me.
Yep, good one.
Mondays, you did a great job. And I'm not even just saying that because I know this is your first submission, which totally surprised me. But this is awesome. This one spoke to me. I loved the blue shadows for sure. And the way you did, I just like this model. So it speaks.
I like orcs.
It speaks to me. Mondays, you did a great job.
I like orcs.
It's hard. I would pick orc models every single time. And then, I don't know. Like, it is really hard.
It just looks, I would paint an army like this. It just looks clean. So I'm into it. Now, if you did win, make sure you message Grant over on Discord and remind him. He'll ask for some information. Jason,
what?
Describe the clean challenge. Clarify it for us.
Okay, so the challenge for this next month of February, or for the month of January that we'll be looking at in February, is the fresh start. New year, new you, fresh start. Let's paint something that is fresh off the showroom floor, right? So the winner that I picked here from Megan the Odd, great model, is very indicative at first glance of what I mean by clean. Nothing here is weathered. There's no rust on the metals. There's no dirt on anything. It's just painted with nice, clean, crisp colors. It does not mean that everything has to be a cartoon figure to do that, but that is a great way to make sure that that works. I said like Marvel Crisis Protocol would be good here because you have brand new superheroes would be a good way to do clean.
Yeah.
Parade rest, like freshly polished, freshly minted Space Marines would be a good way to do clean.
Okay.
Model cars.
Yeah.
Think of it, is that we are so used to, in the wargaming world, making everything feel used. And it's just the level of used that tells the story we're typically telling, right?
Yeah.
So it could be Nurgle beat to death, rusted, dying, and raised from the dead zombie feel again, and we just kind of throw mud at it and call it a day, and it feels super weathered and blown out.
Yeah.
Or it could be like, dust on the feet of a Space Marine with a couple of chips in the armor, and it feels clean. Like my Blood Angels don't have a lot of weathering done to them, but I'm still painting them in a way that makes them look used.
Right.
Because I'm doing more contrast in the shadows. I'm using more desaturated colors. So when you want to say, what does fresh and clean mean, think about something brand new, right?
No,
and that's what we're talking about.
And with that said, I believe you can still glaze and do washes and all of that to represent shadowing and everything.
All the techniques are available. You just have to be careful as to when you push it into looking beat up.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge. That's why we call these challenges, is that a lot of the things that we do and a lot of the techniques that we use as wargamers are techniques that are used specifically to denote use.
Yeah.
The way we shade, the way we glaze our shadows in is to put a filter over the top color, which desaturates it and brings it down into the world of use while also adding a shadow. Those techniques can be used, but understand that by doing so, you are going to desaturate the top color.
Yeah.
Now, full saturation is what I'm going for, right? I want things that look freshly painted, and now you could say, oh, well, this is freshly painted mud color, right?
Yeah.
And I'll yell at you because that's not the theory. That's not what we're going for.
Exactly.
Right? It's really just, what does that thing that you're painting look like if it were brand new?
So
rolled, if you're painting a German tank or a Sherman from World War II, what does it look like when it just came off the factory floor with shiny bits and clean, fresh paint? And the numerics on it are all fresh. What would that look like when you paint it here?
And as you explained it, and definitely looking at Megan the Odds, if you're having trouble finding a model, think of is it in a Pixar movie, like Toy Story toys or something like that? Yeah. Because it's simple and you could have a lot of fun with it and keep it relatively in the zone.
I think any model can do it. And and I think that the big thing that you could really go, if you're one of the artists that generally joins in, that really wants to push the limits, I think that picking something that would normally need to be weathered to pull the story across and doing it this way would be where I would go, just for the challenge of my own personal style, would be to pick a Nurgle model and paint it fresh and clean. Because those models already have pits in the armor and chunks and things that make your brain want to paint it with ooze dripping out of it and stuff. But what if you painted it in the Toy Story way? What if you had a whole Nurgle army that was painted like this?
Yeah.
How would you do that? It would look badass.
Yeah.
But you'd have to really use color correctly in order to pull it off, so it didn't look too over the top. Well, there's no way you're going to make Nurgle not look over the top if you're to use this color palette that Megan's used.
Right.
But that's the kind of thought process. I'm not saying you have to do Nurgle models. I'm saying if you really want a challenge, then push yourself out there to models that when you generally were going to show your friends, they would be like, this model's supposed to be rusty.
Yeah.
And you don't put any rust on it, right?
Yep. Does your non-painted pick need to be bare plastic, or can I use my primed? Typically, we prefer the bare plastic, but if you have a black or white primed mini, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we get it.
If you prime it, try not to do a Zenithal highlight prime on top of the prime. Try to keep it the one prime.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. I mean, if it's prime,
Well, I
it's
mean,
prime.
just for the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There you
As
go.
long as it's just in primer and hasn't had any paint put on it and has the date shown on it, then we're cool.
Great. If you're not a part of the challenges, go to our Discord right now and become a part of the crew.
And if you have
Get it going.
questions, just at Grant M.
Yep. Cool. Thank you for explaining that, Jason. Jason, it's 3:52. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep painting?
I mean, there's 8 minutes to calibrate this TV.
Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna let Chris kill.
I'm
Grant.
about to offline.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm
thanks
about
for
to kill switch this whole
Good.
operation.
good seeing everybody. I'm gonna go manage a community away
hey,
from
Grant.
Chris.
Grant, thank you so much for stopping by.
Good job.
Grant-
Everybody did an amazing job.
If you won today, make sure you message Grant over on Discord, and he'll help you out, I guess.
Yeah, we'll keep it going for a little bit. I want to paint a little bit on that flame
Sure.
on the top of the
Hey,
the
man.
mausoleum dude.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm gonna do that.
You're going to paint the flame?
Yeah.
I'm about to leave, though.
Yeah. That's when I paint flames and OSL.
I see what you're trying to do here. I see what you're trying to do.
There's only 50 more models with it on them, though.
That's true.
So
I was just about to say, are you going to paint more bone golems? What are you doing sitting? Dance. Dance, you. Look, I'm about to change
is he talking to me?
I'm about to change the...
Are you talking to me?
We can't see you.
I thought that said man show.
The show.
That tag on the screen.
No. Didn't say man show.
Oh.
Oh, Jason.
Oh,
Whoa. Whoa.
This Christopher guy.
Whoa. Wow.
Chris.
What a
Chris.
day. Wow. I mean, if you're into that, kind of.
If I'm into painting,
Or if you're into painting,
I'm into painting.
Jason's been a little sassy today.
I enjoy the paint.
Jason, you have been sassy today.
I've been what?
You've been sassy. You need to cool it off.
I've been sassy?
You've been sassy.
How dare you speak to me that way?
That's Chai Cat. Any word on when Go Bag Evos will be restocked?
So about 3 months from now.
Oh, but
They're
we'll tell
a
you
long
when they're in
way
stock.
out, unfortunately.
We will tell you when they're back in stock. Get them while they're hot. Hot, hot, hot this time of year. I guess if you're into that kind of thing. You're gonna paint some light. I see.
I'm going to make ein Wasch.
I won't do it.
You won't do what?
I won't do it.
Anything?
I won't do
You're
it.
just not doing things?
I won't do it, chat.
What are you not doing?
I won't do it.
I don't understand. This guy. Okay, so white and then about that much. Glaze wash medium. And then I call it about 5-to-1 glaze wash medium. And then a spritz of water.
5-to-1. I hardly know her.
It's an unfair fight.
Unfair fight.
Unfair fight.
That's kind of funny, though. That's how you do most of your mixes.
This is an unfair fight.
Unfair fight. That's okay. Hey, if you're new around here, welcome in. We just did our Discord challenge. We do one every month. If you are not a part of our Discord, please.
Congrats to everybody for joining in. I really, really appreciate the level of enthusiasm and entries that we've seen over the last year have been tremendous. It goes up and up every single year. So,
and that's kind of the point, and I just want to reiterate this to everybody. Now, when we come up with these challenges, it's a challenge, not a competition, right? We're
Right.
challenging
100%.
you to be better at this thing. And then we come up with a fun, silly theme to get you out of your comfort zone. So my ask is don't overthink it. Have fun. And that's the big one. Have fun. And we'll pick a winner here and there, but again, it's just because that's what speaks to us, right? That's the whole idea.
100%. I pick the models that as soon as you flip the page to them, I'm like, whoop, that one gets it. I like that.
Tangent says, I got a number 4 Sable for Christmas, and I'm wondering if the lead hair is too long. What should I expect? Maybe my expectation is off.
Is it one of ours?
Yes, I think so.
If it's one of ours, shoot a picture to support.
Yeah.
And let them take a look at it, and they can help you figure out if it's something that we can step you through trimming, or if we need to replace it. It can be a fairly typical occurrence, but if we let it get past, we've either made an oops, or it should be something that it keeps the brush functional, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. But we'll take a look at it. We don't ever force you into situations you don't want to be in.
9 red tails. Chris, are you really getting the sack? I'm worried. I might be. This could be the big one. Sir Blame's asking, why are you putting white on flames?
Fire's white, right?
Depends on if it's holy fire.
I mean, I don't understand the question.
Why are you putting white on here, Jason?
Because fire's white, right?
I don't think so.
Because the way this flame was done was with magenta speed paint.
Yeah.
Contrast paint. And it was very pink. And so we put our yellow secret sauce over the top, which then took the magenta and started moving it towards reds, which got us this orange because of the intensity of our yellow, right? But the recesses are still very dark from the contrast paint. Contrast paint, not the best thing for fire because fire is not dark in the recesses. It's actually brighter in the recesses and darker as you move towards the edges.
Sir Blame, I asked because I thought it already looked good. He's going to do an OSL effect on it.
Oh yeah, it looked pretty good, but it's because it's not supposed to be dark in the recesses. Fire doesn't do that, and that's just me, being
technical.
Yeah,
you being technical, Jason?
I'm being technical.
Hey, before I leave,
you leave?
You should maybe tell him that if I was you, chat, I'd be around tomorrow.
What?
Wink, wink.
Nudge, no, we don't tell him until tomorrow.
I don't think so. Maybe
is chat important enough to get told today? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the reason why is because we've told people about Friday. Or is it just because
then they should be able to deduce if they are super sleuths that we know they are?
That's what I'm saying.
That if we're doing a giveaway every week and we are announcing the day and there's only 2 days left and we told them we're not streaming Friday, do the math.
You're doing Friday stream, but I won't be there.
I'll be doing it late, but I won't be doing a giveaway.
Or are we just giving you a free little hint if you're here? I would be around tomorrow if I was you.
Yeah. I feel like I'd listen to Chris if I was you.
Wink, wink. There you go. That's my little tidbit. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but who knows? Who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? Isn't that right, Jason?
I've seen a lot of movies. I know a lot of things that could happen.
I guess that's a good point. You're streaming now. Gibbs now. False. Punisher. Tomorrow is another day. Hey, I think I'm going to leave, Jason. It's 4 o'clock.
Fine.
Chris has to go home.
Fine.
I'm turning over a new leaf, chat.
His New Year's resolution is screw us. To heck with those guys.
Wow. That's dramatic. False. Listen to Chris? I shan't, says Panic Bomb. You will listen to me. But I'm me and you're you. That's right, Flapjack. I'm just saying tomorrow is the day. Jason will be painting Conquest tomorrow.
No.
Surprised? We have lots of Conquest. These Conquest models selfishly are great because they're very big and I can see them very, very well. Way to stick it to the boss, Chris. Yeah, I did. Ding, 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 ding. I also end work at 4 p.m. Sometimes I can stay.
The rest of us have to work,
Sometimes I can't. You know?
The rest of us aren't that lucky.
That's true. But you do have Fridays off. That's not a bad gig. Wirehead, safe drive back to the retirement community. Hopefully it's a safe drive. The traffic's going to suck because it's raining. And whenever it rains in Arizona, traffic is always bad.
Yeah, because that is true, unfortunately.
So there's no joke about that.
So the flame was done like this.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right. This is the way these models came. Like almost exactly. It's a little bit different on the faceplate, but these models were exactly the same. And so not very many of the details picked out, like the chains and the gold metallic stuff. But the stone is done pretty well. And then the flame was done with just a magenta. But the problem when you use the contrast paints is, they build up this really dark shadow in deep recesses like that, darker than you would ever want. And for flame especially, now I guess there's some world where you could say that looks pretty rad, and you could dry brush like a brighter color over the top and paint it like something normally would be, where the highlight goes towards the top area, and it would just be reversed from what flame should be. I've chosen instead to turn it back into like normal torch fire, and I just put our yellow answer to speed paint over the top of the magenta, which turns it the orange. And now the white in the recesses will brighten up where it needs to be, so that I can then start going back and putting like yellow transparent in there, pale yellow, and then we'll get a more realistic flame. So that's the goal.
I'm going to put these store links up. Jason's, you keeping going, right?
I'm going, man. You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me.
I won't do either. I'll just let you do you, Jason.
Sophist, the bone recipe is really as easy as saying, like, this was just whatever this was. Skeleton Horde, I think people said, was the contrast paint that was on here. It looks like caramel popcorn. And I just put bone over the top of this, and then I washed it with petroleum brown, and then I went back over it with what did I use next? Not caramel brown.
Khaki.
Did I use khaki?
I think it was khaki.
No, khaki I used on the wraps on the legs.
Oh.
I think it was dark ivory. Yeah, dark ivory. Then I did dark ivory and ivory over the top to get here. So you've got from there to there. Because remember, I'm repainting these pre-bought models, or these pre-painted bought models that I did. The whole army was painted this way by somebody else. And I'm just showing you how you can use like the base coat colors and not really change a whole lot.
Oops.
That's all I've done. Use his base coats and go over and add my own highlights and volumes to it, so you get a better looking depth on the model.
Right.
Right. And get rid of some of the garish red. The red was really bright red. So I just dulled it down with a combo of our crimson and purple speed paint to get this darker red, and then highlight it back up as needed with dark warm flesh.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm just changing a lot and adding some very quick steps, base coat of magnesium on all the metallic parts, and then rich gold, bright gold on all the gold things, and then a quick wash of green oxide on all the gold bits, where I just mixed glaze wash medium and green oxide together. And then steel and silver on all the sword blades and things that I wanted to be silver. And on the things that I wanted to be a little rusty, like the back of the shield, I did a burnt sienna wash with the glaze wash medium as too. The nail through the hand, the coins or scale mail bits that are hanging around. I just did some rusty effects on them. So nothing difficult about what I've done. Some dry brushing on the stone to bring out the highlights there. And then I did go back with the brush and pick out like the cracks and edges on that. But
nice.
Yeah, real simple effects, real simple things to do. Nothing's more than, say, 3 colors. And with the base coat's already done, it basically puts you in a point where you start with this model and you just go to finishing the details, right? And you use for, the contrast paint and everything that he's done is just used as what it should be, which is the base coat for building up off of. And you can take all of these colors and turn them into this without a whole lot of problem. Like even the flame, just putting the yellow speed paint over the top of it turns it into orange, and then I can make it into real fire.
I got to reset your Zoom here. 1 second.
Reset my what?
Your zoom, it got wonky when I was trying to zoom in and out. Resetting. Resetting. Oop. Hold for dramatic effect. That's 200. Perfect. Look at me. Go Blanger. Jason.
Blanger?
I hope you have a great night.
Are those words? That's not even a word. I don't think those are words, Chris.
Feel better, Jason?
I don't feel bad.
See how that feels?
What?
You upset, Chris? You mad, Chris?
Jeez, Chris, why are you so upset?
That's the same feeling.
Why are you so upset, Chris?
I'm so happy for you. Chat.
Why are you so upset, Chris?
I hope you have a beautiful evening.
He doesn't.
I will be driving through the rain to my home to relax and rest.
He doesn't care about us.
I do. False.
False.
Incorrect fact. Incorrect fact. I care about you tremendously. That's why I'm here from 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Monument Standard Time, every day. Maybe I misheard. You mentioned, speed paints. Xeno Dude, tell us, Jason, what are you talking about?
We've been referring to it on stream as special sauce, and we've been painting quite a bit. I'm doing the entire Euroni faction from Conquest with pretty much strictly our interpretation, if you will, of speed paints. So everything you see here has at least been based. The skin was done with all of these models are just zenithal primed models, right? Our white airbrush paint over our black airbrush primer, right? And then on the skin here, I did our yellow first, and then what is called crimson in our line. And it gave us this really good red skin. You can see bits of the yellow that I painted on the base there. It gives a red, and then I use Nova Orange to highlight that. And so that's what I'll do on all these guys. And then the armor is all the black speed paint. The jade is the only thing that's all done with our normal line of paints, right? And then maybe the rope is also done with just like our dark green brown and browns for the detail stuff that I didn't use. But I think I even used I used the dark green brown speed paint on all of that first, right? And then mix the gray and the blue speed paint to do the sword, to get the steel on the sword done. And then really just highlights are done with the normal Pro Acryl, right? So you can see how you can get a lot of work done very quickly on these guys. And I've been showing off the medium, the special sauce medium, as it were. And we mixed it in with jade and put it on this. And then we did a Payne's Gray wash over the top. So it gives us the ability to create a lot of really cool, fast. This was, again, yellow over the skin, and then green over the yellow.
It's got stuff on it. This desk's got a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of models.
Leaving.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
Turn the camera off when you're done.
Which camera? I won't. I didn't yesterday. I won't. Okay, I won't. I'll forget. I'm pretty bad at forgetting that.
Jason, have a good night.
See you, Chris. Drive safe. Zendu, no problem. Yeah, we've been using them a lot. It's been fun to just play around with them. We've airbrushed with them. I use these these are all done with like Games Workshop white primer and stuff to see how it works over that. And just seeing how they work and getting it to a functional spot where I feel like I would use them has been fun. You know, it's something that I am not a big fan of in terms of its usability in my process. But as we've developed our own version and made it to where I can use it for anything I want, I've used it on these for the reds, and on tons of models so far. These guys have been great because the way we've developed the black with the kind of blue undertones is amazing. That's what this armor is over the zenithal. We've got the black speed paint. So that's going to make painting, Black Templar armor and stuff just almost instantaneous, right? Because it has just enough of a hint of like a bluishness in the highlights. And then you can also mix it, because the way we've done our formulation, it mixes with our other paint. So this is the black speed paint mixed with white blue. gives us the ability to start highlighting. And then you can just start mixing in more white blue, and you can basically use the speed paint as your base coat and then move it to mix for your midtones and your highlights, and it actually stays put where you paint it. It doesn't slide around like the speed paint does once you start adding other paint to it. So it gives it a lot of versatility in that regard. So I'm very excited for people to get their hands on it, start playing with it. I wanted to make sure it was a paint that didn't stop being useful when you started being better. And I feel like that's the problem with that whole world of paints, is that they are great for beginners. Then you kind of grow out of them, and then you grow back to them when you get more confident with things like glazing, because they can make very fast glazes, but you have to have confidence in them because you got to mix them correctly to get them to glaze right. Where ours, just water on the brush like you use all of our other paints, and they'll extend all the way through to do glazes and base coats and anything you want, which is fantastic. I like them. It's more wizard magic than transparents, yeah. I think these will become the most versatile paints in our lineup. They may take that mantle away from the transparents, which is hard to imagine, but I think that may be the case. All right, I'm going to use yellow transparent over this and thin it way down so that I can get the white to kind of be a bright yellow first, and then move into more yellow as we go up the flame. So just yellow transparent. A lot of water on my brush, so you always see me, however much water this brush holds as it comes out of my cleaning cup, and just tap the side of that droplet of transparent yellow. You'll get another brush load of water and tap it on the side of that droplet again, and that should be plenty to thin this down. 2 brush loads of water with a number 3 or above generally does it, and you'll see how it goes over that white very, very thin, and I should be able to get a pretty good thing going here. And now all of a sudden, my deep recesses of my flame are no longer dark. That quick wash of white in there allows me to alter the whole look of that fire instantaneously. And I'll do the same thing with the yellow in here. Jen and I have started watching a series called Mobland. Anybody else watch this? Like, don't like? Gets better, gets worse. This is the part where Mo comes in and says, "Oh, starts great. You're going to hate the end." I think Mo and I think very similar about TV shows, because that's the way, every time he says that, I'm like, yep, I should have listened to Mo. Wirehead says, great show. Yeah. You do, though, Mo. Isn't it true? It's hard to imagine that with 2 colors, 3 colors now, well, technically 2, yellow and white, that we've turned this exact flame from magenta to this without painting over it. We didn't paint it all white. We put yellow over this and made it orange, and then the white in the recesses to get rid of the dark recesses, and now the yellow again. No, Mo, I get it. And sometimes I'm like, Mo, whatever, man. It can't be that bad. And then we watch a couple more episodes and we're like, Mo was right. Mo was right. Carpet Cruiser, yeah, it's a piece of glass. They're like, I just had to order another one for the house. They're like $28. We use the 9x12 version. They make a much larger one, like a 12x26 version or something like that, too. This is the 9x12. And I've been using them for years. I don't travel with a glass palette. I travel with palette paper that's just gray palette paper, typically. Again, 2 brush loads of water in the orange transparent over here. Want to be able to do the same thing with the orange. Take a little bit of the orange. Since this area down here hadn't been painted with the magenta, I want to put a little bit of orange in it so it's not just yellow. It won't make sense to just see yellow down in these little windows of flame. They will ultimately want to be a little brighter than the rest because you can imagine that's where the heat is, the ignition of the flame is coming from. But I need them to get back to looking like they're part of the whole rather than something separate. We'll just touch a little bit of orange in them. And then we'll have to lighten them back up after the fact. And then I'll drag a little bit of the orange up to the higher spots and let it bleed in with the yellow we just put in. So, why glass over a wet palette, Carpet Cruiser? I think I've been convinced by YouTube it's entirely necessary, never painted without a wet one. Oh yeah, it's funny, right? Because it's a weird tribal vibe thing in the world of miniature painting that when painting with liquid acrylics, we have to use a wet palette. And wet palettes were not meant for liquid acrylics. They were meant for watercolors and paste acrylics. Things that don't have a whole, I mean, watercolor on the one end of the spectrum where it needs a lot of water to do what you want it to do. And typically you're trying to kind of over thin those paints because they still give you a lot of color over a broad surface and soak into a, almost a woven cloth feeling substrate on canvas or on the water paper. And in the middle of paste acrylics, heavy bodied acrylics, and watercolor is this weird world of liquid acrylics that for, ever has really just been tempera paints and finger paints and cheap paints for crafts and never really an artistic paint. And so a lot of those liquid acrylics, in order to work for models, I think people like to have something that automatically thins the paint because you spend a lot of time thinning. Like a lot of our competitors' paints are too thick out of the bottle. They don't paint well just with you dip your brush in the bottle and then go to the model. You get a lot of brush stroke and you'll get a lot of texture in the paint because they're just thick. And the wet palette constantly dilutes your paint. And so when I get to the core of the issue for me is that I always want to be able to go straight over here. Like I just put a tremendous amount of water into both the yellow here. Let me see. I don't know if I can switch scenes, but let me try this real quick. Let me see. Can I go? Oh, no, I can't. Oh, maybe. No, I can't. I have to have the button panel, which I don't have. He didn't bring it up for me. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I can go here. Which thing is it? Is it this? Stream Deck? No. It's the Companion app is what it is. So let me launch Companion real quick. Give me a second, and I'll bring up my my ability to do zooms and stuff because you'll get a better picture of this if I can show it to you on the... Oh, no, I have to go over there. Give me just a second. I'm touching Critch's stuff again. All right, hang on. Where's the damn thing? I think it's this. Launch GUI. Go to web buttons. Ha! And pull this over here. And shrink it down as far as it'll go. Chat, if only I had a producer that loved me. All right. Okay, now I should be able to go over and do palette. All right. So you can see where I have my droplet of paint for both my orange and my yellow transparent. And then where I took a brush load with water and touched the side and pulled it down here so I could get a very thin version to glaze with. Okay. Now, a wet palette would let me do exactly what you see me doing here, but a wet palette would constantly be diluting this part of the paint. So eventually this becomes flooded with water, right? Because there is no brain in the paper. The paper can't stop the flow of water through a substrate, right? The osmosis is going to take the water and take it up above the paper as you put pressure on it. So they can find new weaves and things will work better. The red grass stuff works better than some of the others and so on and so forth, but it's constantly diluting the paint. That never happens for me. People will say, yeah, but your paint dries. I don't care, paint dries. That's what it does. That's why we buy it, right? But what happens is that I can always go to this droplet, always, and be able to start from right out of the bottle paint. So I always know how much water I have to add to this to get what I want on the model. And with a wet palette, I don't. As the paint ages on the wet palette, you add less water to it to get to the same place. And so I'm constantly having to adjust my painting style because the paint is never the same. And that bugs me. So I typically don't use one. 200? Aha. But they make great tools when you're doing a lot of mixes. So if you're painting with a ton of mixing, and that's generally how you paint, then a wet palette is a fantastic tool for keeping that mix lively longer, but it will start diluting your mix just as quick. So you have to be a little careful there. I'm a control freak, Chet. I like to be able to make sure that I'm in full control of what happens to the paint. Because my whole goal is painting, with the moisture on my brush, and in order to make that as valuable as I can get it, I have to know what the paint is starting at viscosity-wise and all that. I'm going back with a little bit of that titanium wash white mix that we made and poking it into these spots. A lot of paint, Jason. Is that why I'm all by myself today? No. He left me at 4, like he gets off work or something. We close the shop up at 4 here at HQ. And I say we call this HQ. This is probably no longer HQ. It's not fair to call it that. HQ is the other building now, most likely. And this is our sales and admin building. But the gang over here works Monday through Friday till 4, from 8 to 4. And the gang over at HQ works a 4-day work week, 10 hours a day here at the beginning of the new year. We changed all that. So it's a little tough for us to get used to, especially because I have to work 5 days a week and I seem to work the hours of everybody. So I don't get this whole day off thing. But Chris gets to leave at 4. Lucky bastard. Like he's put his time in or something. That guy. You don't like your paint drying in 15 minutes? I don't mind it getting diluted because it doesn't last long enough to really dilute anyway. Yeah, when you start to really work with your paint in a way that you're going through every opacity level as you're painting layers, you'll notice it dramatically on the palette, right? After all my years of painting, that was one of the biggest things, is that it's very hard to control the opacity of the paint the longer it sits in water. And a lot of paints don't like sitting in water. If you run your wet palette very dry, meaning that there's no wetness on the top of the paper, then just being in that moist environment can help a little bit. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I always go back to the fact that if wet palettes were as good as everybody thinks they are, and that wasn't just a placebo, then there would be wet palettes made by a lot more companies in the art world. Because there are a lot of people that paint with acrylics in the art world. Tons more than ever paint miniatures. And there are no wet palettes. Masterson's. And then Flatline. And Masterson's is right down the street from us here in Phoenix, Arizona. And they don't sell hardly any. In a grand scheme of being a business, it's a very small business of wet palettes. It just isn't something that's meant for the bulk of painting with acrylics. So it's kind of a placebo. But like I said, not a bad thing, because it does work very, very well when keeping mixes lively. Because in order to mix, you have to spread your paint out further, which puts more of the surface area of the paint to air, which creates more evaporation. And so when you're mixing, you tend to not be able to keep it in a drop. You have to keep it spread out like this, and then it dries quicker. And so, yeah, then a wet palette is a spot on. Great thing. Maybe pale yellow, I think, is what I'm looking for here. Small humidifier with a dry palette to extend the time you've got. I have never messed around with any of that. It just is, I put out a small drop of paint and am not afraid to put more paint on my palette, right? That's the thing. Less paint more often. Same way you do when airbrushing, right? Don't load your airbrush up with paint. Use a very little bit of paint in the airbrush so you don't worry about clogging and tip dry, and then fill the cup more often is much better way to look at it. So I do the same thing on palette, but it's a personal preference thing, I've been painting for a long time, and so for me, I don't get too bent out of shape about tools. Everything we do is, meant to match the feel of painting when you paint. So if you like the way a tool operates, use it 100%. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You like it, go for it. But it was surprising to me when the wet palette really made it a big, heyday in the miniature painting world. I would go and use them, and we've used them on stream just because I get people all the time that are like, I bet you can't use one. I'm like, I bet I can. They have to be fiddled with too much. The paper starts curling up on the corners, things like that. And I just get like, I'm like, no, it's not worth it. I don't want to mess around on my palette. I just want to paint miniatures. Shouldn't be so hard. So people like to get me worked up about it. And tell us how you really feel. When I went on the TUP podcast, that was where John and Miniac went with the questioning. Okay, so tell us about how you really feel about wet palettes. Bastards. Let's turn the airbrush on and do some OSL. How about it? Chris isn't here, so don't tell him we're doing this. They get really mad. I stole Chris's pickle. What's the... Ha! That's my favorite thing ever. Yodeling pickle. Without context, that might be considered weird. I think with context, it's pretty weird, actually. I don't know that I get a free pass just because I showed you a pickle that yodels. I stole Chris's pickle. White transparent. Pow. How do you clean your glass palette? We have a 5-gallon bucket, like the cheap ones you can get at Home Depot, but we have them here because we mix our paint in them for production. So we have a 5-gallon bucket, and we put just tap water and like a cap full of Simple Green in it, or whatever we use here. I don't remember what cleaning agent we use here. I think we stopped using Simple Green because they found there was some sort of a, or maybe it was, I don't remember. Maybe it's Fabuloso that has the bad thing in it, scent-wise. I don't remember. Anyway, we put detergent in it and make sure we mix the soap in, and then we dunk it in there, and we let it sit for a couple of days. We have 2. So anytime you see a clean one here, there's a dirty one in the can. And after a day or 2, you can leave it in overnight, and then you can wake up in the next morning. And if you get a paint scraper, you can just slide the paint scraper down. It'll all come off. Super simple. Then you rinse it off, and you're done. It couldn't be any easier to clean. I showed you my yodeling pickle. Please respond. What? What? That's how you get HR? This is the greatest thing ever. This is literally the greatest thing ever. If a man doesn't want me touching his pickle, he should not leave his pickle in the basket over there. I just said that out loud. I don't care. I don't care. You can pretend I didn't say it, but I said it. That was my outside voice. All right. No thinning. I'm just transparent white in the airbrush. And some tip dry. I do not want the speckling. Let's make sure all that is good. All right, cool. So the way I treat this is I start with the flame location, and I hit all the areas like literally right next to the flame first. So we can imagine that it would hit all of this stuff. Kind of treat the airbrush like the flame here, right? To try to angle it outward from where the flame is. And there's like posts and the whatever that thing is called. But I don't think any of those would block light very well. So I start like this. Obviously all these skulls over here, which are already pretty bright color. And then you have to determine like how far you want it to go. I don't know that I really care that the flame gets too far, so I'm just going to hit a little bit of this surface here, right? And start building up that glow. It would probably hit a little bit of that wood there, a little bit of the top of this thing here. It wouldn't get this red cloth because it has that shelf of wood there, but it might get a little bit further down the front of this over here. Wouldn't get the front of this wood plank much, if any. I like that. That feels pretty good. Right? And the transparent white allows me to do this and build it up, right? So I can do a quick layer and come back over here and say, yeah, I want that a little brighter, a little bit more white, do all this. Probably get some on that back piece there. That bronze down there. Okay. Remembering that the closer it is to the source of the light, the brighter it'll be. So I'll go back up and layer these areas of wood that are right next to the fire. And it looks funky at first because you've got this yellow and orange, you know, and pale yellow painted on here, which we're not done with the flame yet, but we've got a good start going on. So you've got all that coloring there, and you're like, okay, well, what? Get the steel around the steel here too. Can't leave the metal untouched. Okay. And it looks funky because then the white is not the same color as the light, and it just looks like, okay, well, now you've just made all this brightness on here that kind of makes no sense. But it will. It's feeling pretty good. Probably ought to sneak in some brightness on the inside of this wood too, just because. Looks like almost like hazy snowfall or something as we do it this way. Because what you're trying to do is give the impression of the intensity of light across all these surfaces right now, not the color of light. That's what the transparent white does so well. You could also just thin down titanium white, whatever you like, right here. Boom. I like that. That works well. You can see now, hopefully, where the light would be hitting. And you start seeing the story it tells. That's what makes, I mean, transparent white is one of the most insane products for just that if you don't ever use it for anything else. It will set up your OSL in 2 or 3 layers with the airbrush really, really nicely. And then we will go back and I'll show you how you use titanium white in league with that to get the effect really cooking. Yeah, it's the airbrush makes these types of things like almost immediate for these types of effects. Any kind of hazy feathering of color for OSL or just for dusting color onto models. Once you get some confidence with working close and being able to control the airbrush to just get that filter of paint going rather than blasting a lot of paint out, airbrush is a hyper powerful tool. Can you do the same thing with a brush? Sure. You just have to be a little bit more careful so that you really, really feather your brush stroke out at the end. Because the airbrush won't cause a line if you're careful anywhere around where the light is going, right? Like you just have this nice fade of where the light's hitting that stone in the back, right? I don't have any hard edges up on this where the light is just going to fade across into my base color. Whereas doing that with a brush is going to take you a lot more control necessary to really get it to play correctly for you. Let's rinse this out real quick. Ah! Damn you, Jason. Waddy, out of here. Would you recommend thinning Pro Acryl in the airbrush? Sure. You'll watch me, typically I won't thin my base coats where I want the punch of color, right? So if I want the color to have a lot of vibrancy, I don't thin it. Because when you thin, you desaturate color. You just are going to lower the intensity of the color. And so if I am doing base coats where I want to keep a very bright color going, then I won't. So base coats and midtones, typically I don't, and then I start thinning as I get towards my brighter colors because you start putting a lot of contrast on the model. And if you would have, too much contrast, then the airbrush can show you the spots, right? Even if it's not sputtering, the way it applies paint is in little dots. And if you go really bright and don't thin it, you can see the dots, and it causes a texture. So I generally start thinning the brighter I go. Okay. Okie doke, we're set up. Oh God, it's the scary part. Let's get some titanium white first. So now just base titanium white. And we'll dial in where we know we want bright edges. So don't have to thin a lot here. We want it to have a big impact. So we'll just grab like the edge of this wood facing the lamp here. Not too thick of a line because wood's not super shiny, but it might be polished over time because of oils or exposure to weather. You know, who knows? We want to highlight those edges that are close by the lamp itself, the sconce, or whatever the hell we want to call this thing. And even on our metallic paint, we will take the titanium white, right? And we will do a little dot of titanium white on these rivets here. And along the top edge here. Maybe a hair down the side, but not too much. Maybe down a little on this side because it might have a little bit of that glow on that edge too, even though it's facing away from it. Metal will carry that shine a little bit further. There. Then of course this wood as it comes out where we had anywhere where you can see that airbrush hazing, because if you did your aim right and place your color right with the airbrush, then that's where your light color will go. Of course, all across the top here. We'll put white here, which is brighter than any of the coloring that we've done for the highlights on any of those. We use white, even knowing it's the brightest color, and might upset a little bit of our contrast, because we know we're going to filter right back over the top with another color, oranges, yellows, whatever you're going to do, whatever color your fire is. And so you can confidently put on a very bright color where you normally wouldn't in the white, just because of that, because you know it's not going to stay very bright after we put the flame color back over the top. And I might, because we have some of that white here, I might go ahead and kind of do some texturing of the white up this. So a little bit more on the round parts of that bone. A little bit more back here, maybe. This is, maybe goes like this. Same thing on these areas where I might have these edges. Parts of these skulls. So the transparent white sets the scene. The titanium white gives you the balance of values, right? Because we want certain edges and areas to be even brighter. So that's what this is doing. And you may wind up balancing this out a couple of times. Don't worry about it, right? As you get to make it to where the light looks exactly the way you want it, you may have to do this a couple of times. And the thing is, you know, we're faking this, right? There is no light coming from this lamp. So in areas like this where the model is casting shadow on these skulls, it's important to make sure you brighten that up, because that shadow wouldn't be there if this were a real flame. It would eat up all that shadow. So we've got to kind of overcome some of that here, right? And I'm just looking at each part of these models that would face the light gets a little bit of brightness along these edges and such. More white the closer we get to the flame, or the shinier the thing that you're trying to show glow on is, like this metal that's there. Seems pretty good. Scorch, take it easy. Thanks for joining in. Have a wonderful evening. Get more water on my brush, thin the titanium white down so that it's just a hair more opaque than the transparent white was, so that I can feather it into that glow area on the stone here and have it to where that transition is brighter and then darker. Might want to halo this skull a little bit. Because from the flame looking across that skull, right, it would light up that area, but cause a shadow on the other side of the skull. So we might just want to do something like this to kind of fake that in there too. Like that. Something like that. That should be pretty good. Thanks for hanging. I'm going to spoil you. What? That thing? To activate chat again. Are you guys hearing me? Is this thing on? Somebody chat and make sure my chat's working again. I think you slept past the stream only to see me still streaming. Okay, good. It keeps throwing up the thing. Every couple of hours, it'll say, if you want to reactivate chat, hit here. Right? Okay, so now the fun part. We're going to use the yellow and the orange transparents. The yellow close to the flame. Okay, so again, a lot of water on my brush. These haven't quite dried up on me yet. Right, so a lot of water on my brush to keep them very thin. I want very little opacity. Right, so a lot of water. We'll test it on this white on my thumb. That's pretty good. Okay. And we'll start up here, close to the light source with the yellow. Across all these surfaces where we see the dusting of the transparent white. Okay. And those areas where we put the titanium white for sure. Okay, now you might say there's a reason why there would be a little bit across the top of this metal, maybe. Use my finger to smudge that on there. Over here. You pretty much put the yellow on everything if you want. Oh, I didn't do titanium white on that. Rip. That's a boo-boo. This is the brightest area, right? So we got to pull that grain out with the titanium white because that's going to be some of the brightest points on our area here. That I saw that before I did the yellow. That would have sucked. All right, back to the yellow. Brush stroke going down towards where I want the brightest part of my flame to be. So I kind of blend it up here into my other colors, using my finger to smudge blend it up across the top there. Same thing as it goes back here. I probably don't have to take it as far back into that shadow. We'll do that anyway. And all these sides, I've already shown myself where all this has to go. I'm just going to paint it right over where I have my white on all of these surfaces. And bring my brush strokes towards the edge that faces the light. Make sure I don't get yellow in that shadow area, but keep it like that. And now you see the power of the white, because where the yellow goes over your non-brightened colors, it still maintains that kind of, you know, I don't want to call it shadow, but it really is, right? Those areas where the light can't penetrate as much, but it still has a little bit of intrusion there just because of the ambient nature of light. It'll still tint the colors down below, but it just doesn't have to reach that far. So we just kind of have defined where it goes, and then we just paint over it. So as soon as you get the confidence to do that, right, and start placing color. Now you can, even without the white, I can start putting a little bit of color out here where it might just kind of glow onto this stuff at a dimmer value. So these skulls where we didn't put white, we can just put a little bit of yellow. It won't be near as intense as on the skulls that are closer up there, but it'll give that idea of that flicker, right? That flame licking just a little bit further. But now the yellow isn't as intense, right? You don't want to take it all the way to the other side of the model probably, but you can play with it a little bit like this. And look, all of a sudden, with just transparent yellow over the top, you now have a glow from your flame. Right? I mean, you can choose your colors, T. Schmidt. You can go to fluoro yellow if you wanted to. I think that transparent yellow does a great job of what I'm trying to get accomplished here. But there's nothing to stop you from using the fluorescent colors underneath. The fluorescent colors tend to do better over the titanium white than they do over, oh God, see, I did the same thing here. I didn't put the titanium white. As I'm saying that, I'm staring at, I didn't put titanium white on the steel, and I'm sitting here wondering, why is this not looking as punchy as I need it to be? This is always the hardest thing, because you got to do this edge that is on the inside here. The fluorescents want a very opaque white background, is what I'm trying to say. And so they may not give you the initial punch you want. So I would start with the transparents and then do them over the transparent white to get your color and the basis of your lighting set up. And then you can go back with the fluorescents on pass 2, where you put the titanium white over the top of all of that again. You have to get these edges brought out here, or it's not going to look right. The extra time, you like it? I have to work till 6 now, man. The longer days has been really good for me, and I'm on a real big hobby kick. This isn't something that I say, everybody get used to this, it'll be great, because it could end at any time. But I'm really having a good time. I'm enjoying the the painting, just in general. And so for me, being able to hang out and continue after Chris leaves is a kind of a godsend. I go home and hobby. Been doing a lot of building, getting other army stuff built. It's like, who is this Jason, and what aliens abducted the real one? Jen's been getting really creative, or feeling the need to get more creative, so she's talking about all sorts of cool stuff she wants to do, and hopefully my creative urge is bleeding off on her a little bit. Hopefully it's bleeding off on you guys too. Hopefully you're getting being able to utilize this time we're spending together to get your own dose of energy up, so to speak. area back here sucks, but we'll fake it. I don't know that I can do a very good job back here, but whatever. We'll pretend, chat. All right. Now I need more yellow transparent. Because now I did exactly what I told you not to do, which is spread it out thin, and then forgot that I needed other colors. Again, I'm using a number 3 brush, so it holds a lot of water, but you may need to do multiple brush loads of water depending on, you know, what brush size you're using. You just want to make sure you get this really, really thin in opacity so it doesn't overwhelm your model, right? That's good. That's a pretty good amount because we're going to have color show through. And so I will now go over all this wood with the yellow. Parabellum Games. These models are awesome. Yeah, they owe me big, right? It's a shame because when you go around and you look at their stuff, there isn't a whole lot. There's a really voracious community of people that love the game, but there's not a lot of stuff to look at to get you really jazzed. So I'm happy to, you know, when I fall in love with a thing, I'm happy to spread that love. I don't care at all. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it, and I hope you guys and gals are seeing that they do have some really neat models. You know, the detailing on them and the time that they've invested in their designs is very apparent. I'm a big fan. If you can't tell, with my way too many armies for this game, I'll never play. All right. Now, we've put the yellow on, but what we need is to orange out a little bit of this, right? So it wouldn't be quite this bright of a light because our flame isn't that bright. So we'll put a little bit of orange towards the edges of all of this stuff. But I'm gonna wait because that last pass of yellow that I did was really thin. I probably need to have it not be quite as thin. Yeah, more like that. There we go. And for those of us that do, I mean, like to play games, I'm not going to lie. I think there's a lot of really good gaming to be had with Conquest. Like I said, I don't game as much as I paint, so I don't know that I'm the one that's ever going to get there with it. But I have been paying attention, and the army building and the list building is fun. The game itself has got a lot of really cool things that it does with regard to like turn order and stuff like that, but I'm not the one that can speak to the utmost about all that. I'll throw a little bit down there just because I can. Remember that transparent paints will typically be more vibrant when you first put them on, and then they will lose some of their vibrancy as they cure. Always more powerful wet than dry, even when going over white like we're doing here. So make sure that you, before you move on to another color, if you're planning to cover it up like I am, make sure that before you move to your next color, you do enough layering to really get it where you want to. I'm really happy with that. I don't know. That's pretty good. Yep. Thin the crap out of them and work up in layers, because they would be super intense. I would have ruined this model had I just taken the yellow straight out of the bottle and put it on here. Right? They are hyper intense pigment for all the transparents. So you have to be careful or you will overdo it. Somebody in chat's asking, why did we decide to set up shop in AZ? So I moved down here in 2014 to sell my metal shop. I made custom pre-1970 post-war Harley Davidsons was my gig. And so I was done doing that. I wanted to get rid of my shop. And so I was in Colorado in the middle of nowhere, not a real conducive place to selling my metal shop. I needed to come back to civilization to get that done. And because when I say I was in the middle of nowhere, I was literally in the middle of nowhere. And so I moved to Arizona to do that. And I spent the first year I was here in 2014 doing exactly that, selling my all my machinery and a bunch of old motorcycles, things like that. And then I met Jen about a year, well, a little less than a year after I moved here, right? Our anniversary is coming up. We've been together now for, this is year 11. Is this 11 freaking years? January 31st will be 11 years, right? And I met Jen and fell for Jen and decided to stay in Arizona. I wasn't going to stay here. I was going to move to either Texas or California again, and decided to stay here. We did really well. I needed something to do, so I started painting. Well, I was always streaming. I always streamed video games too as a nighttime thing. And so for years, from Justin TV through Twitch, I was Slow Fuse Gaming and did various competitive PvP style games, and then got really tired of that scene at the time, and decided to start painting. And so I joined in with a handful of other people that were painting on Twitch at the time. There might have been a half a dozen of us. And Kenny, and I remember Michael Cho, and a couple of Europeans, and a handful of people were doing content on Twitch back 2016 timeframe. And yeah, been a hell of a ride ever since then. So we just stayed in Arizona. We thought about going to Washington at one point in time. Jen and I, when we were looking for our first actual warehouse office space, we went up to Seattle area. It's just too damn expensive. You know, we love the area up there. But it's too damn expensive. And so we could never do that. And so we stayed in Arizona. And now we have a big company, 2 buildings, and all sorts of stuff here. We're roots firmly planted. Yeah, expensive. All right, so a little bit of orange, because we have a little bit of orange on the flame. So we don't want to just do the yellow, but you have to be very careful here, right? Because you do not want to add a lot of orange here. The color of the OSL will not mimic exactly the color of the flame, okay? So I need to make that very clear. You know, our flame goes from this yellow to orange. It will not go from yellow to orange the same way across here. The orange is just something we're going to do in the shadows and a little bit as we work out towards this end of the skulls. Very thin. So again, huge brush load of water. You could even mix the yellow and the orange together if you wanted to be real careful here, right? But I'm just going to thin this way down. 3 brush loads of water inside this, right? So we can see as it goes over the dried yellow on my hand, it's not going to have a huge impact, right? But it is going to warm it up a little bit. And so I'm going to do that out here on these skulls, right? And on the shadow side of these skulls. Almost more like a wash than anything at this stage. This will help to give the feeling of extending the light out a little bit further. Right, then we're going to paint it along the area where it comes and blends back into the yellow here on this and up here. Anywhere where I have that little shadowed spot, I can kind of throw some orange in there. Anywhere where the yellow runs down into darkness, throw some orange in there. Kind of bolsters the effect. Second layer up here just to drive the fact home that we've gone to that secondary coloring. You see how we've moved it a little bit warmer, a little bit darker as we go into the skulls, but it doesn't mimic the flame. It's not as orange, but it takes away a lot of that bright yellow that's close to the flame and gives us our intensity back here and dulls it out as it goes across into just bone. Okay. We can do some of that same stuff here. We can kind of, as we get closer into this end of the wood, we have maybe a little bit of shadow along there. Even kind of right underneath the sconce, right, where it wouldn't be super bright. The sconce may be providing us a little bit of shadow. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. Simple OSL. I'm in AZ because that's where the UFO dropped him off. I'm like, beep boop. Punisher, you step away and everything's got a glow to it. GK model says, Gray Knight models. You want to put your Gray Knight? Is it GK for Gray Knights? That's commitment, man. I like it. You want to put your Gray Knight models on a rock base to make them look a bit taller, but I'm not sure what color scheme and kind of base works best. I've tested a gray rock one and a desert rock slab. I'm leaning more towards the gray rock, but I would really appreciate your experienced option. Maybe some other type of base works better. I like the ones that I'm doing with they're called Slate. And it's my favorite base for anything, right? This one has a little bit of red overspray because I was just painting it to show how you can make a model look a little more finished. These are great, right? Because especially for Space Marines, they give you another quarter of an inch of height, right? So your guys get really tall. And so when doing that, I like these because the slate can be any color you want it to be, right? I start with a base of gray, but then when I'm done, here's a better one. So this guy is closer to finished. So you can start by doing it with a start gray. And then as you want, you could add other coloring in there. I've got, where do I have one that has more color to it? I use these so often for so many different models and armies. There's got to be one up here. And of course there isn't. Are you kidding me? They're all Blood Angels. Me and my damn Blood Angels problem. And it is a problem, chat. Okay. Well, you can imagine, I can't believe I don't have anything here that shows with the greens and so. Oh, yeah. How about her? Right? So you can imagine, this is obviously Andrasta's based, and it's totally its own thing. But imagine the slate with the gray, right? And then taking a little bit of green, or in this case, like burnt sienna or burnt orange, and thinning it way, way down, almost water, and then glazing it across the top, and you get that kind of slate, worn, mossy feel to it, right? That's the same kind of thing, neutral grays, warm grays, that you build up on it, and then you would just put green or orange over this if you wanted to tint it a little bit differently, because if you're painting Grey Knights in like silver and such, then the gray base might be a little bit rough. But you can see here with like the steel non-metallic metal that I've done on her armor, and then that really looks good with the gray, with that kind of mossy green, which would be kind of like either dark yellow green or dark camel green on there, and then burnt sienna or burnt orange, and maybe some yellow ochre, just depending on what you're doing, right? But at that point in time, you've got the way to do a really cool stone, and you can make that fit any color, because while it's not completely neutral, I've shifted it with greens and oranges. That would work great with Grey Knights, because the green would pop against like the silver of the Grey Knights and stuff, right? But yeah, these bases with like the slate, the rock, I think is great. The desert can be cool too, because if you do like the desert in like tans and yellows and even red, like Martian Earth, that really offsets the neutral silver of Grey Knights. Especially if you do them with like a blue hue as a base coat under the silver, then that warmth on the base could be really cool too. Avian, all for you? No such thing as simple OSL, says Telma. The first to figure it out, your first and last name initials are Magic Grey Knight. I knew you were committed to the bit, man. I see you. Telma, yeah, OSL is all in the initial setup of your light, period. That is what does it. The rest of it is very simple, right? The technique for putting on the transparent paints and getting the light and all that is very simple. It's the getting the light where it needs to be is the hardest part, right? Because you're fighting a three-dimensional object, and you can't just say, turn on the glow and have it go boop. You have to use, like in my case, I use the airbrush, and I kind of keep the airbrush centered on the globe of light in the wizard hand, or in this case, this sconce of fire, and go and spray everything that the sconce can see. Imagine a sconce is an eyeball that can see in 360 degrees all the way around three-dimensionally. And so you have to take the airbrush and spray it from the sconce at everything it could possibly see, right, in every direction, and kind of just pick out where that light would hit, right? Like this shelf of wood keeps the light from hitting down low, so we have to keep it up high. So we've hit everything it can hit up here, right? There's an argument to be made that maybe a little bit gets on this arm or whatever, but I don't care about that much, right? I'm focused on the part that really makes a difference when looking at the model, right? But once you have that set up, that's why I use the transparent white, because it doesn't really, if you slip a little with the transparent white and get it where you don't like it, it's easy to just glaze whatever color was underneath it. So in this case, like the stone green, jade-ish color, the bone, the wood, you can glaze the wood color back over the top, and it's like you never did it. So it makes it very eraser friendly and very much more confidence building when you're starting out to do that. Now, you have to be able to work with the airbrush well. in order for that to be a thing, because you got to work in real close. I was spraying that at 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch away from the model. But the transparent white is very forgiving. So it allows you to do that a little bit better. And after you build your confidence, get the light set, then the glazing of the transparent yellow and everything is just, I mean, I just put it on there. Right? You don't have to do it very, the only thing that you have to be careful with is when you're blending it out to your normal paint color, right? When you're blending on the skull out to the bone where the light doesn't reach anymore. Which is technically the fool thing, right? Because if these skulls were this bright in whatever ambient light this thing is in, then this would not have this OSL. Because the ambient light in the world around it would flood this out. You would never see. Like if I light a torch and walk out on a sunny day in Arizona, it's looking like I'm holding a stick. The only way you could even see there was fire is because the heat haze that warps the image around the thing. You'd never see any light from that torch because the sun is brighter than anything that piece of wood being ignited could generate. Same thing with a flame torch. There's no flame vision because the light from the sun in the middle of the day will overpower everything, right? Maybe one of those super bright burn your eyes out flashlights would still show a little bit of light, but you typically don't get OSL when you have this bright of an ambient light. So we're using the stretching the imagination to put it on here for visual effect. It would never really work this way. So don't worry about realism too much. Just worry more about getting color and keeping the intensity of that color such that it makes sense that it's actually glowing, right? So we want it to be more intense towards the light and then blend out as it goes away. So it can be dumbed down, so to speak. I would call this wish.com OSL, you know, because if I were going to do this to like competitive quality, we would have to go back and brighten up these skulls that are closer to the flame now. So as we draw even closer, because I just have a mishmash of these skulls are brighter than these. And I would have to brighten up the ones that are even closer to the source one more time. And then either do it with pale yellow where I don't have to glaze the yellow back over, or go white and then a thinner glaze of the yellow over it so it brightens it up. So you would play back and forth. And same thing when doing OSL with anything, you know, plasma cannons or whatever. You might find yourself going, okay, white and then whatever transparent fluorescent color you're using for your flame color, then white again in a reduced area, and then the transparent again, and then white, and then more, and then white, and then more. And you can keep doing that and layering it up. Now, every time you put the transparent color over itself, it darkens it up. So it becomes more intense yellow, except where the white is. So you do have to be a little careful because you could be darkening all of this stuff if you're not precise. Bushman, what's going on? Take it easy. Yeah. So there you go. I think that other than maybe adding some tufts to the base or something on this guy, you know, depending on what, I don't know. All the bases are the same, so I'll probably wait until the army's done before I figure out what looks good on some of these models. But remember that flame, it's so funny that flame started out like this. Same thing. And very quickly we were able to do something that feels pretty cool. So I really like this model. I like when you look at the flame, like on areas like this, where you start getting around the corner and the glow just halos the stuff. That's when it really has the biggest impact. Yeah, and you're right, Telma. Everything that is not in the OSL would need to be darkened down to really pull the effect off, you know. But we do this for the fact that now I have an army that can have some spot OSL on it and look cool, when technically we should have painted the whole thing much darker. Were we going to really have the OSL feel, you know, more realistic? We talked about that with regards to there's really not a whole lot of paint done on anything other than the area where the OSL is. And all of that's done with a heavy leaning towards yellow or a heavy leaning towards jade on the cool side, right? And all the rest of it is just like a base coat. And then I think even with like a black transparent sprayed over the top of it to dull it all down so that you can really get the intensity of your light showing. And this is where OSL has the biggest effect because you get a lot of contrast. And the secondary, we keep the secondary light source here to where they're fighting one another just for drama, right? And this is fun because you can imagine this is the cave she's in and she has a torch and the torch is very dimly lighting just the area right around her. And this is where it really plays better than something like this where we forced it onto something we painted like it was outdoors anyway. This is faking it for just the the cool factor. And this is trying to use light to actually represent what it might look like in the given scenario, right? And you need that darkness to juxtapose the light to really make it make sense. Because, like I said, a torch will not light up the ambient world. Just won't. Do not use J.J. Abrams as an art source. I mean, I don't have a problem with J.J.'s lens flares. I think they're cool. Sphere, were these models painted by someone else? Yes, exactly. This is an army that we bought. This whole thing that I'm doing right now, let me back this out to where you can see everything. This army is like a 3,000 point Old Dominion army that I bought from a guy on Facebook, and they were already painted to this level. So the stone color I really dug. I liked it a lot. And then it was just kind of messy with contrast paints to get some other details, and not all the details were painted. He was just going fast. So there's not a lot of these units that have, you know, like what I would call a full paint job on them, right? But they're all done to a level that got it started. And they were based and they were built. I hate building models. So the biggest thing is, hey, look, I have a whole army that's built. And so now what I can do is come through and, you know, turn them into this with very little effort, technically, right? I already like the color scheme. So I just need to dull it down, make it more my style, and do some dry brushing. And of course, we added the OSL on this guy, and we'll probably do that for a few of them, but it's not something that you had to do. I could have just left the torch or sconce painted how it was. You could, you know, make it like this. You don't have to have the glow. But, you know, we turn that to that in a couple days of just fast streaming and yip yapping. And we'll be able to do that to troops with just, you know, much simpler dry brush, and where there isn't as much detail, you know, paint the faces and, you know, add a little bit of detail coloring on them. And the army will be good to go. Again, just a quick dry brush on the base changes the base quite a bit to, you know, something more like this. Just showing you that if you, for people like me that want to get involved, like maybe you want to play Conquest, but I'm not going to go spend, you know, $800 on an army when 40K is my main thing. We'll go find somebody spending, you know, selling their entire Conquest army for, you know, $250. There's a lot of that out there. And if they're pre-painted and they're not trying to sell it as, you know, eBay Pro Paint, then you can get a really good starting foundation for the model. And I was going to show you, I said that I'd come back and zoom. I mean, I haven't spent a whole lot of time. There's some of the original sloppiness where he got outside the lines. I just left. It doesn't even matter, right? You tie it up and bring your colors together better. And all of a sudden everything feels, you know, pretty well put together. I didn't spend a ton of time with, you know, really exact brush strokes. I'm using color more in my favor, you know, like the gold with the green wash on it and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this because it gives me the ability to, you know, kind of push my own understanding of what color is useful and how, because I can look in there and say, okay, well, this, you know, this particular thing is painted like this. How would I make it something I would want to put on the table? So dry brushing and yip yapping. I can't stand building models anymore, man. It really just hurts. It hurts. Oh, Artie Char, that model? Yeah, I designed, that is, oh God, I'm always forgetting names. Deidre, the Wanderer. And I just had this idea of a girl going through a dungeon with the good and the bad side of dungeon delving shown. Put on something good in the background. Yeah, I've been listening to either my audiobook series that I'm listening to or just music. The other night I built a bunch of models just listening to Winter Sleep all night long. So kind of the nice thing about the new War Machine models, the 3D printed ones, but they're moving to hard plastic too, which they need to. I mean, anything you can 3D print makes that a lot easier, and I do love 3D printing for that, but I do not like the brittleness of it. Even with bendy resin, it's garbage. It just is really hard for me to get behind because they don't last. I find that I either need to get much better at storing my models or I just need to stick to hard plastics. It's just the 3D printed models just break all the time, no matter what I do. So I love them for display models, right? Busts, things like that. you showing the sloppiness kind of just killed you. I still can't see the army as the project. Stuck on making every single dude as perfect as I can. Oh yeah, teach me, and I think that's one of the biggest things. How do you find your own measure of where you're okay with quality? This is a great conversation because every artist goes through this. Where am I okay with stopping and calling that good enough? Right? It's that it's good enough point. And sometimes that's very rarefied air. For some people, painting their armies is like, that's everybody else's, like, I'm trying to get a golden demon. And it's just like, I'm just trying to put an army on the table. So it's very subjective in that swing, right? And even for me, I can look at these and know that unless I want to prime over them and start from scratch, I will have to have a little bit of shortcoming because I'm dealing with going over something like all that contrast paint and everything else. And so there's going to be some sloppiness. There's some where the paint was outside of the lines when I got the model, right? And do I want to take the time to cut all that back in, or am I just trying to turn it into something workable? And I think we've done a pretty successful job of turning it into something workable where this model is passable, right? A whole army of this on the table will feel pretty good. And I don't have a problem with it. We've added a bunch of contrast. We've gotten rid of the sloppiness from the style of paints that he used, and added some flair to it with the OSL. So, we can still make it neat. Now, that's not the same as building a model from scratch and building up all of my contrast on my own when I get to look at it and say, okay, I still just want to paint these guys up for tabletop and for game ready, but my contrast will be a lot better because I'm not having to dry brush for details because I built it up from the start. So there is a difference, and I have to look at it project by project. This project will look like this. This project will look like this. Both of them will be equally as satisfying to me to complete. It's that easy, right? For me. But that is tough, right? And sometimes within armies, you take a look at it, you said, oh my God, this unit looks amazing, and this other unit I didn't have as much fun painting, and they don't look like they're part of the same project. That can be a thing too, so. I gotta run. I have a meeting that I'm already 30 minutes late for. I've kept Ellie, our finance manager. I told her we'd meet at 5, and I don't think we're meeting at 5 because it's already 5:34. So I gotta run. But everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me and sticking a little bit late. Love it. So this and Army ADHD. Oh, we all have that. Yeah, I have 5 million points of things in boxes. So stick around. We're gonna finish armies this year. That's my goal. I'm going to finish some armies this year. Now, I have a lot of armies, so we'll see how that runs. But thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Chris appreciates it too. And we do this Monday through Friday. Typically, we are postponing the Friday show till later. I'll be doing the Friday show later in the evening from my house, my home studio. I have a meeting, and Chris is working in the studio on Friday to update all the cameras, firmware. There's a lot of electronics things. He's been having some problems with the way a lot of the things are working, and a lot of it's due to software updates. So he's going to take the day to do that and make sure that there's no stress. So if we have problems and it goes over, he can work through the weekend or whatever. But I will be painting from home on Friday night. I have a meeting at 2. I don't know when that'll end. It's clear across town. I'll probably get home 4 or 5-ish on Friday and probably do a stream then. So I'll keep you updated on Discord. Make sure to check the Discord. If you're not a member over there, somebody type !Discord in chat and Twitch, and it'll throw the link up. Come join us on our Discord. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hit the follow button or the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch or Kick. We'd love to have you back here. We do this from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona, from Monument HQ right here, live and in person. Yeah, live. Thank you to everybody that participated in our monthly challenge. We did the challenge review today, which was a ton of fun. Thank you so much. The new challenge is up on the Discord as well, so you can get involved in that. We'll be going over that beginning of February. Anyway, have a wonderful evening. I'm going to jump over to the producer desk. I will find us somebody to raid and have some fun with your hobby off into the evening, and I will see you later. So give me a second, and I'll do all that stuff. Chris, I'm touching all your stuff. My mean cackle. I have a pretty good cackle. All right, who are we raiding? Eric Svensson. He cut his hair. Go make fun of him for cutting his hair. But tell him he's dead sexy for cutting his hair. How about that? Want to do that? You want to do that? Oh my gosh. Is this a Jade raid? Jade, we're leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving, Jade. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm out of here. I can't stay any longer. We got to go. But thank you, Raiders. We're going to go see Eric Swinson and get some hobby off into the evening. Thank you so much. Love you. Hit the follow button before you go and show some love in Eric's chat. Adios.